right, this is Jerry Fitzwater, and I am here with two dangerous men. I mean, we have the Grim Reaper and your newly acquired manager, Don-O-Mite. And now, this is... I gotta ask you, are you nervous? You're facing Jason Static tonight in your match with Jason Static. Are you nervous? I won't.
Listen. I didn't bring my stupid dictionary with me, so I'm not even going to answer that question. He beat him the last show. Why would he not want to face him again? Beat him again. What are you stupid?
That's Ted. Explain something. Who is in charge of this federation that will book another match between me and some scrub that I beat the crap out of, left him in the ring, cannolis all in his face? Let me tell you something. You're not Vince McMahon. You can't do this. Let me tell you something, Jay Static. You could do all the push-ups in the world, you could do all the sit-ups, and whatever extra activity they do in Gold's Gym. Let me explain something to you. I'm a natural killer, all right? I'm here to kill you. I'm taking you out. There's going to be no more Jay Static in VPW. There should be no more weirdo, creepo-looking punks like you. I got my man right here. We got the power.
HBOZ, baby.
It's over with, Static. You understand? Explain something. If you talk like that again to me, you're gonna get slapped. I want to hear your normal voice. I want to hear your...
This is my normal voice.
Okay.
Can I have my degree in journalism?
Let me tell you something where we come from. When we come from, we don't just whack someone, we disfigure them. So Jason, you're stupid enough to accept the challenge again. Next time, we're gonna disfigure you.
HBOZ.
All day, every day.
That's right. Cosa Nostra has just begun.
All right, well,
Bye-bye.
there you have it. All right, that's not necessary. Come on now.
Tu madre faccia la carne.
Oh, come on now. I don't know what he said, but it sounded pretty devious. Jerry Fitzwater. Oh, hey.
Every Thursday night, you ask the questions, DT gives you his answers. No holds barred.
It's Q&A with Don-O-Mite. This is your chance to speak your mind and be heard about anything.
Q&A with Don-O-Mite. And now, your host, Don-O-Mite.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? What is this? June 3rd, 2021. I'm back. My God, every day. I tell you, interesting week in the world of pro wrestling. Obviously, yesterday we did a 3-hour marathon taking your calls for the first time ever live on YouTube yesterday. I think that went off pretty well. Listening to it back, maybe 10, 12, 13 minutes for one call might be a little bit extreme, but these are my family calling in. So I had a great time last night. I think we're going to have a good time tonight. Oh, yeah, this is, by the way, for anyone out there that's never seen the video of my bird, like, playing dead and everything, this is what he looks like. That's what he looks like. That's Freddie. So, yeah, I'm looking healthy. Look, I'm not going to lie, man. I gained about 9 pounds. The quarantine, the phrase is the quarantine 15. Luckily, I only gained 9, but I will get that knocked off in about a month. But, yes, the Mick Foley shirt in the background. I'm not going to lie, I was going to wear that tonight. But the screen is a little bit off tonight, and the reason being is because that blue light thing, I actually have it set up on a stand over here, and it looks pretty cool. Like, if I want to, I could actually... You could see, like, it's like the blue in the background is like changing colors a little bit. Like, I got to manipulate a little bit more. See my forehead now? My forehead is blue. So I got to tweak it a little bit. But I was wearing that shirt, and it made my tits look like this. It looked like I had giant bazoombas. And I was like, no. I put that shirt up as a little tribute. I watched the Mick Foley A&E biography. Now, you know my thoughts about some of these episodes prior. I still don't understand why some of them were made. If anything, I thought the Booker T episode was probably the most necessary. But I got to tell you, man, and I'm not saying this to try to sound like I know everything. I swear to you, that's not what it's meant at all. 99% of everything that was discussed in the Mick Foley biography, I already knew. And the reason being is because I'm not one of these obsessed fans. I don't gush. The guy is a homeboy. And that guy, a little bit older than me. But the funny thing is, for anybody out there that is closer to my age, or maybe even a little bit older, you know, when you get to 1983, when you hear Bubba Ray talk about his fandomhood as a kid being a wrestling fan, and you hear others, especially on the Northeast, many of us followed the same path of Mick Foley. We brawled in our backyards. We dove off of things. You already know the story of me diving off the sliding pond, breaking my arm, breaking this, spraining that, brawling, my friend putting the Mass Superstar neck breaker on me and knocking me out because he did it on the edge of a step. Where the paths change is that Mick Foley actually went out and did it. We went to Madison Square Garden as kids. I've told all those stories. I got document proof of that. But I never at that time took it to the next level of seriously thinking about becoming a wrestler. Mick Foley took it seriously. I took it to the park, wine coolers, beer, big tummy, and the rest is history. Lo and behold, 1995, I catch the bug again. Decide, you know, this time around, I'm really going to try to do it, even if it's just local stuff. In 1996, start training to try to learn, you know, how to do it. And then the car accident comes, fucks everything up. But Mick Foley, you know, and I actually had to look it up because you know me. It's probably one of my best assets and it's one of my worst assets. There are so many people that lie on social media about everything. And, you know, I've distanced myself from social media because of that. And I have this thing about me, and I know a lot of you know what I'm about to say, but I have this thing about me that when I tell a story, I don't want anyone out there to think that I'm making anything up. Because there are so many that lie every single day. I mean, just created a fake life about themselves. And because there's so many other people online that do the same thing, they don't out the people. They accept it. They allow it. And that is the most saddest thing of them all. You know, I draw the line where people use people's feelings to take money. I can't tell you how many people who have frauded people online, charity drives for this, charity drives for that. And then when you want to see a little bit of proof, they tell you to go fuck themselves. And then you got others that will tell you the most tragic stories about things, not a shred of evidence. You would think, if my grandmother is in a wheelchair, stroke, needs emergency surgery, and she's like this, you would think I would and show everyone, look, this is what she looks like. I need your help. My fucking dog is limping, has diabetes, this, and that. I never asked anybody for an ounce of help. But if I did, that's the sound effect for a picture. You post it. Nothing. So I always have this feeling about myself that I got to prove every story. 2004, Frankie Stars. A lot of you may remember him as an independent wrestler. He did a charity event in Long Island for a dealership. A Marine that was seriously injured in Iraq, Corporal Delgado, I believe his name was. This was July 2004. And if you think I'm making up the story, you could Google it. Tweet Mick Foley. Mick Foley will tell you the answer. I don't tell stories after people die. You know, the latest one I read today, I think Hardcore Holly now claims he was supposed to be at Chris Benoit's house the day of the murder-suicide. Yeah, okay. So was I. We were going to have barbecue. We were going to have barbecue and talk about when he was Pegasus Kid. Corporal Delgado was an injured Marine from Iraq. Frankie Stars, classy as he was and probably still is, had a little independent promotion called the UWA. And I don't want to get off track, but just in case I bore anyone, give you a little incentive to stay. The trivia contest tonight is going to be an audio one. It is going to involve wrestling theme music. Someone tonight is going to win either a $100 gift card from WWE Shop or Shop AEW, your choice. I'm going to play 5 quick clips from 5 wrestling themes. All you have to do is tell me who the wrestlers are. It's not as hard as you think. I will tell you the first hint after I tell you my quick Mick Foley story, and then it's to your questions because this is your show. All your questions tonight. And I think we will attempt to do call-ins again. Had fun last night doing that. I had a ball. Thank you, everybody who called in. And also, and I'm not kidding, again, I have this thing about myself. I got to prove everything. 189 attempted calls yesterday. Some of you sent me emails. They're like, dude, you hung up on me. Dude, I tried to get through. I felt bad. What am I supposed to do? But, I got to say this very quickly. The phone number is 225 Don Tony. It is impossible to find a phone number that says Don Tony. I did not know 225 area code is Louisiana. I have a toll-free number that is set up to a voicemail right now for our channel members here on YouTube. That number is a toll-free number, and I don't remember the number offhand, but it's something like, 1-800-TALK-TO-DON. It's something easy. So I think we're going to use that number going forward. This way, you don't, because some people do still pay toll charges, believe it or not. Some people use Skype, and, calling a non-toll-free number might actually eat up some of your time. So I don't want anybody to have to pay for anything. So I will work. That will be my job this week, to either get a new toll-free number that has an awesome, easy, digits to remember, or I will use the other one, and this 225 Don Tony. I'll keep it active. I'll give people the option, whichever number they want to call. So anyway, getting back to the Mick Foley story, and I'm sorry for anybody that knows this story already, but if you watch the A&E biography, you'll understand why I really, 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 really love this man. Not obsessed. It's not like it's just an appreciation to have someone that good. And the funny thing about it is he despises Trump. As much as I hate Galamade, he hates Trump. We are in the complete opposite spectrum as far as political views go. That's fine with me. I see his videos literally begging people to vote Biden and vote this, and you got to do this, and giving people guilt trips sometimes in what he's saying. That you're going to, you get, doesn't matter. To me, he can almost do no wrong. So anyway, getting back to the story really quick. So 2004, Frankie Stars wants to do a charity event on Jericho Turnpike in Long Island, New York. This could all be verified. And this was 2004. Yours truly is only doing tiny, tiny little bits as far as wrestling stuff goes. Let's flash back at that time. I'm still doing wrestling hotlines. I'm not even really podcasting yet. I started doing stuff on camera in 2003, late 03, and I still didn't know anything. So Frankie sets up this charity event. It's going to be outside. They're going to do raffles, barbecue, marine, tributes and all that. And he tells me that we may have a surprise. Mick Foley doesn't want it advertised, though, because Mick Foley had just had knee surgery. Just had knee surgery. You'll really appreciate this story if you don't know it. So if you go online and you search Google, you will see the original press release from July 04, and you will see my name on it because I handled the donations. If anybody wanted to donate anything, to auction off. So we do the event. I was not a character on the show. I only did stuff behind the scenes. No Mick Foley. Some people knew. A lot of people thought, keep in mind, this is 2004. This is 17 years ago. So Mick Foley at that time, this was right on the cusp of retiring. So a lot of you out there, if you don't know Jericho Turnpike in Long Island, New York, if you want a treat, this will really put this in perspective with Mick Foley. I'll be more than happy if someone tweets me. I'll send you the address. I'll send you the address for the car dealership where this took place. The reason why I say that is if you go on Google Maps and you type in this address, along the highway, it is about a half of a mile between the parking lot and then the actual place. So there's no place to pull over. There's no place to park. And it's almost a half a mile. And if you go on Google Maps, you'll see it. You'll be like, holy shit, About halfway through the show, somebody yells out, is that Mick Foley? We go on the cusp of Jericho Turnpike, and about a quarter of a mile away, somebody with a Mike Piazza Mets jersey on a crutch is walking very, very slowly with a female, and I don't remember if it was one kid or two kids. And we think it's him. And sure enough, as he's walking, you see the figure getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it was Mick Foley. This guy had just had knee surgery and insisted that he still was going to go to this event. He went, he signed autographs, gave all the money to this officer. And I hung out with him, and for anyone out there, I'm not going to pull it up now. The infamous picture of me with him and Terry Funk in 1998 when they were the WWF Tag Team Champions. I got to eat lunch with them in Philadelphia at that time. So, to see firsthand this man on a crutch walking almost a half a mile just to sign autographs and, hang out. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. This guy is just deep, deep, deep down inside. The guy is awesome. I'm privileged to be one of the few that he follows on social media. I, absolutely love his stuff. And I'm going to be having a couple of cameos made up for the Donzilla Army from him too. And maybe one day before next year, before maybe the midterm elections, maybe I'll have him on and we'll just talk politics. Go completely off the cuff. But guy is just an amazing, amazing man. When Vince McMahon on that documentary said that Mick Foley is Santa Claus, 365 days a year, Mick Foley reminds me of my grandmother. Mick Foley reminds me of my mother. No, they didn't jump off of roofs and, have exploding death matches. Something tells me Mick Foley reminds a lot of you, of your mom or your dad or your grandmother or your guardian, that someone, when you hear that he is on the phone for 8 hours trying to talk to someone who is on the cusp, battling extreme depression, yeah, that's not a joke. And one thing, and we'll move on. I want to say one last thing in closing. One thing that I've always said on this platform, even before YouTube, going back to the early 2000s, 90%, 95% of all of the good deeds Mick Foley has done for people, you will never know about. You know when you'll know about it? After he is no longer on this earth. That guy prefers the cameras not to record unless it's something that is for a cause that could bring bigger awareness. So it is very, very humbling to have someone like that. I'm going to reveal something. Fuck it. I'm going to reveal something right now. It's not a big deal. But if anybody knows the New Jack story, you'll understand how much this bothered me. Not going to get into the whole New Jack story again, but I will summarize it like this. When I had my car accident in 96, my ex at the time, who was not a wrestling fan, she didn't know anybody other than maybe Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. She wrote to ECW, she wrote to WCW, and she wrote to WWF. See if they could send some autographs my way because I loved wrestling, thought about wanting to be a wrestler, had a deadly car accident, almost killed me. Serious car accident, not deadly. Serious car accident, almost killed me. And WCW never responded. Maybe she just wrote it to the wrong address. Seriously. WWF, I don't think responded either. But ECW responded in a way you have no idea. And I got a phone call from New Jack. And New Jack, and I talked about it with New Jack on Maniac Show. And I got to locate that hard drive for the 2011 episodes. Trust me, I got it. I just got to find it out of boxes. But when he called me in 96, just to wish me well, even though he thought I was a kid, I said, one day I'm going to return that favor because of what he did. And when he got arrested and, because of a warrant and went to jail and needed to get bailed out, his girlfriend at the time put up an eBay auction. And the money that was needed was to bail him out. I won that auction. There's coverage online about me winning that auction. When I won the auction, I told his girlfriend, I said, tell New Jack it's Anthony DeBlasi, Frank Goodman, the guy who works with Frank Goodman. We're even. And that was it. I always wanted to return a favor. So with that mindset, let's fast forward to 2021. Late 2020. Mick Foley has done so much good, things that I've seen and witnessed firsthand, interacted with him in the past. Eating lunch with him in Philly in 1998 was surreal, as a fan. And I said, one day, I'm going to give back a little bit. And I've raised money a little bit for Rain, which you all know. So back in late 2020, Mick Foley, who lives in Long Island, New York still, lives not too far from me, he posted on social media that he needed some help setting up a smart TV. And he really didn't know what to do, couldn't get anybody to help him, and really was looking out if somebody locally could help him. I saw that, and I immediately thought back to New Jack 1996. He called me up, and I said, I got to pay him back one day. So when he did that, and I'm pretty knowledgeable with smart equipment and wiring and configuring, I told my fiance, I said, honey, want to take a drive to Long Island? And she says, for what? I said, let's fix Mick Foley's TV. My fiance said, no way. Because we were still deep in the middle of COVID, and my fiance was paranoid because she lives with her mother, who is 80 years old, and her father, who is 70. And she said, I am not going to be around strangers. I don't care who they are, because if I get sick and I give it to my parents, so I had this sinking feeling just to fix a TV, but I thought it would be just a nice gesture to do. Get out of the house, take a drive to Long Island, fix the guy's TV. I know where he lives. I mean, I used to hang out not too far away from there. And she said no. It was so deflating for yours truly, because I was like, true story. Never told that one before. But so anyway, that documentary, every little bit of it, I believe 100%. And I thank God that he is doing rather well. He is healthy. If you know what I'm talking about, he is healthy. Mad Max 89, welcome to the family, my friend. Welcome to the family. And by the way, speaking of family, my channel members, the predictions contest from AEW, I never announced a winner. We had a little controversy because I think it was James Young. James Young had posted an entry, and I forgot to post it. He didn't edit it. It was posted in the middle of everybody's entries the other day. Now, he didn't win, but he came in second. Now, I had already determined that Kevon Lewis won the $100. He got 9 out of 10 entries right, and he got the tiebreaker. Nir Rofé, happy birthday again. I know everyone here knows Nir. He came in second. He wins a consolation prize. And then, James Young, I forgot to put his entry. He came in second also. So I decided instead of giving away 2 prizes, we're going to do 3. So Nir and James both get consolation prizes. And Kevon Lewis, congratulations, my friend. You get the biggie. I will make it official and post it on YouTube tomorrow. Now, we're not going to do the contest yet. But I'm going to give everybody who was kind enough to tune in this early to get a sneak peek of the songs. And, no, we can't do that. You know why I can't do it? Because you can rewind this show. And I'm not saying anybody would cheat, but I know my mindset that if I play the clips of the songs now, someone could rewind the show, go on social media and say, hey, everyone, who are these themes? And then someone will get it. So we'll do it in a little bit, but I will give you a hint. This is going to be, I think, fairly easy. Just once again, the premise of the contest. I got 5 wrestling themes. Took about 2 seconds of each song. I can't make it longer. Then I run into copyright issues on YouTube. But the whole idea of an audio trivia contest is to guess the song, and you only play a second or 2 of it. So I took 5 theme songs. Each one is about 2 seconds long. And all you got to do is tell me who these 5 themes belong to. Now, I know what a lot of you are saying. There are thousands of wrestlers who have wrestled over the years. DT, how the fuck? What if I do Bastion Booger? Here's the hint. The wrestling themes only pertain to wrestlers who have been released by WWE between 2019 and today. It's only 2 years worth. Not too many people. That narrows it down dramatically. If you want some cheating, go on Google right now and just type in WWE releases 2019. Look at the list. Look at WWE releases 2020. Refresh your memory of that list. You know who got released this year. And then I'll play the 5 themes in a little bit. And either we'll put your entries on the screen or maybe we'll have you call in. The only problem I'm thinking about calling in is we're going to have 1,000 people get it wrong, I think. You might get 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5. So I haven't decided if we're going to do it as a call-in. But thumbnail. Yes, that is Reefer. Punk Isaac, that is Reefer. By the way, AS7607, I saw your email literally about 5 minutes before I went live. So my condolences to you and your family. It's just losing a loved one, whether it's COVID related or not, it doesn't make it feel any better. I told the story the other day about someone that I lost many, many years ago, a relative. And there's certain music that I can't ever listen to ever again because it makes me think of my family member who passed away. And if I'm in my office and the music goes, as weird as this sounds, everyone, and something tells me some of you do this too. You might have a breakup with someone, and there might be a song that always remembers you of them, or you might have a song that for some reason triggers maybe a pet who you had to put down, or maybe a family member who has passed. And as soon as that song comes on, you either got to change the channel, lower the volume off, or go in the other room. And if it comes on and I'm home, I just change the channel. If I'm in my office and there's a customer sitting right at my desk, I can't say, excuse me, get up and shut it. They'll be like, what's wrong with this guy? So what I do is I say, I'll be right back. I have to use the men's room. And my bathroom in my office has the big fan. So if I take a big dump, hopefully you don't smell it after 5 minutes. So I go in the bathroom, I turn the water all the way up, I turn the fan up so I don't hear the song. As weird as that sounds, man. As weird as it sounds. But I want to get into AS7607 Super Chat. She just watched Dark Side of the Ring. She said it's one of the most emotional, difficult episodes she's ever watched from the series. What that family went through because of Grizzly Smith was disturbing. Yeah. A lot of what was this. I haven't watched the episode yet, but I have pretty much the synopsis of what was discussed. I heard that Rockin' Robin's depiction of what happened is just extremely, extremely disturbing. And, you know, the thing is, you have people that grow up from that abuse. I mean, it changes you. You know, it changes you. And I can't relate. Thank God all my family members, you know, were normal, you know, to be honest. I had one neighbor that was a pedophile. I've told the story before. Remember the igloo thing and everything? Thank God that didn't ever, like, rattle any of us at the time. We just wanted to beat the shit out of him. You fuck. Boom! Ice across the head. Ran down the block. I picture Bruce Mitchell running down the block. That's what he looked like. He looked like Bruce Mitchell, only fatter. But, you know, I give a lot of criticism for Dark Side of the Ring because it's more of sensationalizing. The Warrior episode I refuse to watch. And just when you hear about what Dana had to say and others, you pretty much could understand that was more sensationalizing. You know, I guarantee you that each and every one of you that is tuning in right now, you have some relative of some friend out there that has maybe felt slighted by you over the years, and they despise you. And if somebody interviewed, they make you sound like the big, I mean, so, you know, you get an ex-wife from 1991 with the Warrior. I mean, 1991, 30 years ago. I'm not saying it, but the point is, that's the best you could do. But this one felt more like, hey, we got a juicy story here. But at the same time, it gives a little more closure to that family. Jake the Snake, Rocket Robert, everyone else. Because just getting it out of your system, getting it out, even though you've told the interviews over the years, but sometimes, you know, certain atmospheres, certain environments, it's more powerful than others. It's very therapeutic. And, you know, someone that did see it, that told me pretty much a lot of what to expect. The one thing that this person said to me is that you really feel that some of those family members had a big release from this. It's never going to heal the wounds. But everything of what you were told, pretty accurate, man. Not exaggerated. Yeah, obviously, Dark Side of the Ring only focuses on certain things. Wait till the XPW episode comes out. And you're going to realize, you know, so much that was omitted because they want, look, you know, a book, the book of my life, your life, anybody tuning in, it's probably 500 pages long. If you just pull out 50 pages of the most fucked up stuff, you could make someone look like the biggest dirtbag possible, or you could do the opposite, you know? Or you could go on social media and just tweet your way into sainthood. So, yeah. I remember the Beyond the Mat, sure. When Jake the Snake Roberts going to those indie shows and they talked about... See, that's why the WWE documentary, you know, as far as Jake, they couldn't talk about this stuff. I mean, seriously. Even if they did that even if they recorded that documentary during the Attitude Era, they can't get that deep. It's too raw. It's too dark for WWE standards. So I totally get why a lot of that was never discussed. But, you know, if you want to see, you know, like some sick and twisted shit, go check out that Dark Side of the Ring about the Smith family. So, you know, I see, it's weird because I don't want to say like, I hope you liked it. I hope it was good. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't think you can even say if it was a good or a bad episode or you liked it, disliked it. It's just being made aware, you know, and thank God I have no family members that I'm aware of that is remotely done anything disgusting like that. But I'm sure that there's some of you out there who have been victim of some abuse or maybe know someone who is a victim of abuse, and to see that going on, man, I definitely sympathize with anybody out there. Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you, AS7607. I hope you're feeling better, by the way. Damian Faust, who is my favorite member of D-Generation X of all time? That's actually a pretty good question. My favorite member of DX. Wow. You know, I almost want to say Road Dogg. I mean, I was a fan of Billy Gunn also. And Triple H, Shawn Michaels were great. Chyna was funny and she just stood, you know, intimidating. Rick Rude wasn't in it enough. Shawn Michaels, you know what? Maybe Shawn Michaels because of just, you know, doing what he would do. And he, you know, you would go, I don't want to like recreate, but, you know, I'm doing the opposite. Shouldn't this be? No, you know what? I'm going to stick with Road Dogg. Road Dogg used to make me laugh my ass off. Road Dogg, I kind of wish Rick Rude would have been in there longer, but, you know, he really couldn't do much in the ring, although when he was in ECW, we thought he was returned to the ring. That's how it felt. By the way, give me 1 second. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. I had to put the air conditioner on. We had some miserable weather the last couple of days. In fact, I think it's raining outside now. My internet was out earlier today. I was a little nervous that the internet was not going to work. So, I would say Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg would be one, you know, neck and neck. Kind of lean towards Road Dogg a little bit more. You should ask me who my favorite member of the Nation of Domination was back in the day. So you should ask me that one. I think it would be a pretty interesting answer. No, it was not Mizark. So, but anyway, oh my God, Hornswoggle. You have no idea. That was like the time where, like, I never really photoshopped much back then, but there was something where I think Triple H was like holding like a one of those light sticks at Hornswoggle, and I photoshopped it and I put a knife in its place. The picture is still on the synopsis page if you go check it out, and it came out so perfect, and it looked like Shawn Michaels and Triple H had a knife to Hornswoggle's throat. I mean, obviously in real life, I don't want to see him to get hurt, but all that DX stuff that they were doing with Hornswoggle, oh my God, you have no idea how much I despise that. You have no idea. People think it was disturbing that I used to love hearing Kalisto like beg for, when Hornswoggle, when the lights went off and they simulated that Vince McMahon was beating up Hornswoggle, you know, I think I had a mindgasm. To hear him begging and crying, that's like a fantasy. I'm like, thank you, Vince. You're doing exactly what I want to do to him. I have no angst against Hornswoggle now, by the way. I want to give a shout out to Adam Bomb, Brian Clark. You all know who he is. You remember him. Talked to him last day or two. Next week, I'll be letting you know about something going on. A positive thing, by the way. You know, it was good to hear from him, and thank you for your service. I had no idea that he was in the military. His whole family was in the military, too. So, and also another thing, you know, if this person happens to hear this, because I would never DM them and say, is it okay if I post this? But I got a really, really nice DM today from someone who was released yesterday. I didn't reach out to anybody, but somebody obviously was checking out a lot of the podcasts that were covering the releases yesterday and heard the discussion that Mission I had and all of you. And this person sent me a very, very, very kind email today that appreciating, the kind words and thanking, us for the support and that it does not go unnoticed. And I thought that was pretty damn cool because a lot of people out there, they, especially when they do shows, they think that people don't listen. And in a lot of cases they do. It's pretty cool. But, it's funny. Austin Nance in the chat room said yesterday that he found it interesting that every person released, they didn't use their real names, WWE. WWE usually says their real names and in parentheses puts their character name. And I was joking with someone today. I said, maybe they're all going to be part of Diamond Mind. Diamond Mind. What do you think's going to happen with Diamond Mind? Mad Max, no, JBL. I have absolutely praised JBL for the last, my God, it's got to be like 12, 13 years. I mean, that guy, after the Joey Styles incident, and he started to mellow, and I would see him on Fox Business a little bit, and then finding out, I don't know if all of you out there are aware of the charity work that JBL does. My God, you got to go check it out. It would, I think it would blow some of you away how much charity work this guy does. And before you even think about it, no, the charity work is not for Trump 2024. It's nothing political. You got to go check it out. Because when I started hearing about this several years ago, I was like, no way. And I was like, yes way, holy shit. JBL, man. And totally unrelated, since I said holy shit. Josh Alexander and TJP today, Impact, 1 hour Ironman match. I already started getting DMs from people like, DT, you got to check this match out. What was cool, and I don't know if anybody in Impact tunes into any of these shows, but the one thing I will tell them right off the bat, the early feedback I'm getting from people, and Impact just went off about a half hour ago, is that this was pre-recorded, obviously. It was not live. Now, because it's pre-recorded and you have 2, 3 commercial breaks, 4 commercial breaks during this Ironman match, there's no reason why they can't stop, have a beverage, smoke a cigarette if they smoke, I don't know. Maybe check their DMs, take a shit, take a leak, and then hit record again, come back from commercial. When they aired commercials, they showed the split screen every time. I know that may not mean too much, but what that means is that they worked the entire hour. No breaks. Pre-recorded. Now, if you think about it, there is absolutely no reason for them to go to full hour when it's pre-recorded. Why put your body through that little extra if it's not necessary? There's no fans there. They wanted to do the hour, and they wanted the fans to see the whole hour. And people are really buzzing about this match. So go check it out. Michael Gonzalez, favorite Raven TNA moments. When he was feuding with CM Punk, and that kind of bled into Ring of Honor. Actually, the Raven Ring of Honor stuff with CM Punk, I kind of liked a little bit better. Raven in TNA, it was different because he was feuding with Jeff Jarrett, AJ Styles, some hardcore stuff, but one thing I did like about Raven in TNA is that it showed that Raven was more than just a hardcore wrestler. And I have talked about this ad nauseum over the years. I have watched tons of Raven matches up close and personal. I've watched them for ECW. I've watched it USA Pro Wrestling, Jersey, All Pro, and the list goes on and on. And the one match that I always bring up to this day, Raven versus Goldberg at WCW was pretty good too. But the match I always bring up, and look, if you go on the wrestling results, wrestling data, the match result is there. He took on Al Snow. Must have been 2004, around there, give or take a year. He took on Al Snow at Jersey All Pro Wrestling. This match went on for about 30 to 40 minutes. And all it was Gaga. And I could still picture the match in my head. I don't know if there's footage of it still available, but Raven comes out there, cuts a promo. Al Snow cuts a promo back. That kills about 5 minutes. Then in the beginning, like they lock up, go to the rope break. Raven climbs to the top rope. Everybody boos. Al Snow climbs to the top rope. Everybody cheers. They do that 2-3 times. Then, Raven puts Al Snow in the corner, tries to hit him. Cheap shot. Al Snow moves out of the way. Nails Raven once. Raven rolls out of the ring. Next thing you know, you're about 10 minutes into the match and nothing has happened. Then they do a little bit of wrestling, very, very light. And then they start, and this is the part that I never have forgotten. They start doing every finishing move of every wrestler that was in existence at that time. They did the stunner. They did the leg drop. They did the rock bottom. They did the Styles. I don't remember who did the Styles Clash. They did about 20 finishers. They took turns, each one. And I even think it was Raven that hit Hogan's leg drop. And now you're about 15 to 20 minutes in this match. They still have done absolutely nothing. And then the last 5 minutes, they finally started to do a little bit. And then next thing you know, we're about 30 minutes. The match is over. A little bit of respect in the ring. Everybody went home happy. And halfway driving home, you stop and you say to yourself, like, these motherfuckers did nothing. Next to nothing. 30 minutes. 30 minutes of that. 30 minutes of that. Left Twix. Better tag team, the Steiners or the Road Warriors? As far as wrestling ability, moveset, Steiners. It's not even close. The Road Warriors were brawlers. But what made the Road Warriors awesome, besides brawling and the face paint and the charisma and the physique and the intimidation, and they backed it up in the ring. They were so badass that they were cool. I remember a magazine, I don't know if it was Wrestling 83 or Wrestling 85. I don't remember which year it was, but they were on the cover, and that was the first time I ever saw the Road Warriors. I was like, oh, I got to see more of this. I lived in the Northeast, so I really didn't get a whole lot of exposure of seeing them. But Road Warriors, I think, when everything is said and done, the greatest tag team of all time is the Road Warriors. Steiners has got to be in the top 10. I think the Steiners definitely deserve to be in the top 10. I want to thank Crazy Cruiserweight for this super chat. Who is my favorite member of the League of Nations? And I can only choose Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, Rusev, or Wade Barrett. I love Wade Barrett on commentary. I loved his work in NWA. His work in NXT is phenomenal. I did not like Wade Barrett in the League of Nations. I had a hard time. Ever since he would come out with the rose. Remember the rose? And then he would have that cape, and he just couldn't take it off like a normal person. Like if this was the cape, he'd be like, it didn't work. Like maybe if I do it up here, he would have the cape and he'd be like, and it would come off. Like, take it fucking off. If I did that at my house, my fiance would be like, "You lazy fuck, pick up the fucking jacket." So my favorite of them all, probably Rusev. Sheamus, you got to understand something about Sheamus. And anybody that's a long time viewer, listener of what I do, if you're a newer wrestling fan out there, God bless you that you didn't have to witness Sheamus versus Randy Orton. Sheamus versus Randy Orton got so out of control that it all came to black mass on that one episode of Raw where everybody in the crowd was doing a wave and they were chanting JBL, Michael Cole, and everything else. They hated that match so much because we saw Randy Orton versus Sheamus about 80 times. I don't think, if some of you remember how bad, was that SummerSlam 10? No, it can't be. SummerSlam 2? No. It's not 11 years already since that match. He could very well be. No, it had to have been Raw. But Sheamus, it got so nauseating. If you go on the Wrestling Data website or wherever, they show the matches, go on Sheamus's bio, his match listing, and then there's a section where you could type an opponent that he faced. Just type in Randy Orton. If you have $1 every time Randy Orton and Sheamus wrestled, you probably could buy a used car. And I'm exaggerating, but that's how bad it was. So Sheamus, I got so nauseous of him at that time. The weird thing about it is I think Sheamus right now is one of the top performers in WWE. I know a lot of people still don't like that guy, but you look at his matches with Jeff Hardy, you look at his matches with Riddle, you look at his matches all across the board for the last year and a half, take notice. The stuff he did with Drew was, I think people forgot how awesome that match he had with Drew earlier this year. I still think it's in the top 5 of matches of the year. So Sheamus right now, I mean, if somebody would have told you, wow, he might be close to retirement, battled spinal stenosis, you'd be like, him? I don't think so. But probably Rusev. Del Rio, I don't know. Del Rio, I kind of liked early on when he was a heel. When they turned him babyface, that was it. I was like, no, thank you. And then you turn him back heel. It's like, it's too late. Not interested anymore. It's kind of like if you're getting intimate with someone and then the phone rings and then it rings again. And then maybe like you do something wrong and then your significant other's like, just stop. And then you try to like get back into it, and it's like, no, the moment's passed. Yes, it's happened to me recently. That's why the analogy's coming up. But Del Rio, once they turn him babyface, I was like, no, thank you. Big T felt bad for the Nexus. They literally told him to go out and destroy everyone. When they all walked through the curtain, they all had these repercussions of reprimands. You want to know something? The Daniel Bryan thing about the choking, you got to understand, how that was much closer to the Benoit tragedy. So you simulate choking anybody. That's why I was surprised at how many people, took notice of the WrestleMania match recently with Randy Orton and Edge when they went in the gym and used one of the workout equipments to choke Edge. And I talked about it on one of the shows. People were like, seeing someone choking on a workout equipment, and look how many years later it's been. And they never edited that clip out, which is a little surprising to me. VJ, I can't do the riddle dance, but if Dayhawk 666 is tuning in, I promised him this.
Ho, ho, ho.
Green Giant.
I promised it for him yesterday. I looked it up. I found it. I couldn't find it yesterday for nothing.
Ho, ho, ho.
Green Giant.
It would be epic if Braun Strowman actually did commercials for Green Giant. Seriously. Sell like green beans and stuff like that in the cans. I could see Braun Strowman being the Green Giant. Why not? Twix is saying, where is baby Brock? Oh, there's rumors. There's rumors about SummerSlam. By the way, speaking of rumors, yesterday, during that 3-hour discussion about the releases, we talked about the idea of WWE maybe tightening up their business to make it look more attractive if they were to consider selling to NBC Universal or someone else, okay? We had a fabulous conversation about that yesterday. Some of you brought up some awesome points. Mish and I talked about it. Credit to a lot of other shows out there as well that talked about it, because they are taking notice that some of these decisions being done are not just being done, to be cheap. No, when you want to, picture it like this. You want to sell your house. So before you have an open house to let everybody see the house, what do? You paint some walls, you clean it up really good, you fix a couple of broken things, you kind of like make everything look as good as possible. You do that before the open house. You don't have the open house and then have everything all fucked up and scattered everywhere else. And if you do that, you're not going to get the amount that you would want. So what does WWE do? They've done shit with WWE films the last bunch of years. Sure, COVID is a reason behind it for the last 2, but they've done nothing. So what do? Okay, the technology has advanced so much. We don't need 2 departments to do this stuff. Remember I always said that as years go by, someone could do the job of 5 people simply because it gets easier. I mean, look at over here. You see the thumbnails that I post on YouTube? All those thumbnails that I do on all the shows? Yes. I get a little lazy on Thursdays, and Thursdays is usually, Reefer with the move in the ring, and I'm bent over with the suit. I just change the date on it because it's quick. I put it online, that's it. But if you see, like, even the releases, all those thumbnails, I do them now. I used to pay someone to do all the thumbnails. I'm not trying to be cheap, but wouldn't it be better to save that money and put it back into the show, whether it's contest or, getting equipment or, trying to boost up software or, you know what I mean? So you try to use your finances wisely. So WWE doing this stuff, props to everybody who was taking notice. But, now you see the people who are just clickbaiting for hits. As far as rumors of WWE selling, I'm going to give you the greatest advice right now about that topic. Simply as this. If WWE was ever to be sold, it would be sold for billions. Until you start reading rumors on the financial websites, the stock market, did any of these geniuses the last couple of days tell you that since yesterday morning, before the releases were announced, do you know that the WWE stock has gone up $4 a share? That is 8%. That may not sound like a lot, but 9 o'clock yesterday morning, their stock was around $54 and change. It is now, after hours trading, almost $59. That should tell you something. Nick Khan, did anybody tell you that 2 days ago, Nick Khan was added to the board of directors for WWE? Did you know that? I haven't read anybody talking about. I'm sure Meltzer probably did. Why? Because people don't want to do that side of the research. They see the 50 people released last week and they see record profits and common sense. Why would you release all these people if you have record profits? Oh, well, they're not needed. Well, so props for people that notice that, but take notice. Okay, Magnificent Mongo Slate says PW Insider did. Okay, props to them for bringing it up. But my point is this. Until the financial websites start bringing up this rumor, I would just leave it alone. We all think because people are being smart enough to say now, like, okay, you know, some of these changes, it feels like they're tightening up ship. Stephanie sells some stock. This happens here. 2 departments get consolidated into one, this and that. So we could, you know, think outside the box. But if there was really legitimate, strong rumors of a sale, it would reflect on the stock market. Not that it went up or down $4 a share, but you would have finance sites, the Business Wire, saying there's rumors that WWE may be up for sale. There's rumors that NBC Universal might be interested in purchasing WWE. When you start seeing that outside of wrestling instead of WrestlingGoof.com, you know about it. We've talked about it. Other people talked about it. Now we move on until we start hearing it outside of wrestling. Some people out there that are going to podcast about it over and over and over and over are simply trying to get you to click on their link. They have no insider scoop. No one has insider scoop. Not even the investors have insider scoop. They'd go to jail if they knew something in advance. Oh my God, they may sell NBC Universal for $500 million. I'm dumping my stock. Yeah, enjoy jail. What did Mongo say? That's a great point. He thinks that the sale is more of what people want versus what it really is. I don't know if people... I'll tell you something right now. Mongo, I guarantee you, everybody tuning in, I know I say this a lot, but I guarantee you what I'm about to say, you have not read anywhere. You have not read it anywhere. In fact, I'm so certain you haven't read it anywhere. If somebody could furnish me in the last 2 days where someone wrote this, I'll give you a choice of 3 shirts, any promotion, any podcast. Pick my rivals. I don't care. I'm going to tell you something right now that I have not seen one person say. I will say it here. And the funny thing is, now in a day or two, you'll go on Discord channels and you'll have some people literally word for word saying what I'm saying and will not even realize that, you know, that they don't want to tell anybody that they heard it from my show. You ever think of this? This is good. If NBC Universal buys WWE, oh, get ready for this. Are the wrestlers going to still be independent contractors? What happens? NBC Universal is going to have independent contractors working for the company? No one stopped to think about that. If NBC Universal then owns WWE, you think billions, tens, hundreds of billions of dollars, whatever they own, you think that they're going to go through the court system with class action lawsuits that these are employees, not independent contractors? Could you imagine Andrew Yang, even though he's done squat since his tweets? Can you imagine what's going to go on? No one out there has said even one peep about it. That what would happen to the wrestlers' classifications if NBC Universal purchases WWE? I give you permission. If you want to have some people's brains explode, especially if you call into like a radio show like Meltzer or someone else, call into their show if they're talking about this for the 15th time and say, hey, listen, what would happen to the classification of these wrestlers? I don't think NBC Universal, you know, worth 1,000 times more than WWE is going to want to have people, you know, as independent contractors. Wouldn't they have to be reclassified? Watch their brains explode. VJ says Daily DDT said this. Yeah, sure. You know, they might have. You know what? I don't mind giving VJ a couple of shirts because he's good people. So I'm just thinking outside the box. I love thinking outside the box. So, how long have we been doing this? Hour and 5? Want to do the contest now? Should we do it now? Yeah, you know what? Big T. Screen Actors Guild might seriously get involved. You'd think of NBC Universal. Screen Actors Guild, they may have to get involved. Yeah, that's a good point, too. How do you want to do this contest? Do you want to type your answers or do you want to call in? I kind of think you probably would want to type your answers because if I do call-ins, we're probably going to have 100 wrong answers. And I'm going to feel bad like, hey, what's your pick? Blah, 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 blah. Click. What's your pick? Blah, 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 click. So I think we should just type it. Can I share some awesome news? Because of the rumors of WWE returning to Madison Square Garden, New York City released this little thumbnail today. For all of you out there that don't live in New York, whether it's the United States or beyond, I want you to get an idea as far as how things are going here in New York with COVID. And you know I have been trying to be the biggest cheerleader, you know, to everybody, keep your heads up. I offered to help anybody that needed an appointment for a shot. And I've been saying since last year, July, August, July, August, July, August. That's when it's going to be over, July, August. Look at this banner that New York City released today. Since January, the new COVID cases here in New York is down 95%. The COVID positivity rate is down 91%. There is an 86% drop in people in the hospital and people having to go to the hospital with COVID-like symptoms is down almost 70%. Look at those numbers. There is a website. And I'm telling you a legit quick story. One of my customers that was in my office today that I think is 82 years old cried. Swear on my mother, cried. He comes into my office wearing a mask. He's fully vaccinated since March, and he's paranoid. You know, we go out to lunch, you know, in the past, every couple of months, he insists on buying me lunch. We go to a nice restaurant. I know I've talked about that before. And, you know, I said to him, I said, you know, how do you feel? He's like, you know, I feel really uncomfortable. And I said, well, you know, like how low the numbers are right now. He's like, yeah, I hear stuff, but, you know, you really never know. So I said, I want to show you something. New York City has a website right now. I hope some of the other states out there have it too. New York City state has a website. You type in your zip code, and it shows you how many COVID cases there have been, how many people tested positive in your zip code over the last 7 days. My zip code has 26,000 people living in it. Last week, the total number of COVID cases from my zip code was one. One case out of 26,000 people. The zip code that my parents live in, the number of COVID cases in the last 3 weeks, 0. It's over. It is over. They just want to hold on to this power as much as possible. The mask mandate here in New York was lifted a little over 2 weeks ago. There has been no spike in cases. It's been dropping dramatically. So by July, it's over. I think July 4th, they're going to use that as, you know, the figurative. On July 4th, 1776, we got our freedom. Now, July 4th, 2021, we have our freedom from COVID. So you best damn believe that WWE is going to be coming back to New York soon. As the grizzled young veterans say, soon. My God, I can't stand the grizzled young veterans. By the way, you know, this sucks, man. I can't freaking get Nielsen to respond to me. I contacted Nielsen 3 times in the last 2 weeks. I said, pretty much, I said, good afternoon. My name is Anthony DeBlasi. I have a wrestling news website. I have been doing shows and talking news for the last 20 plus years. I used to have an account with you. I let it, I abandoned the account, and I would like to find out I could get it back. I understand Showbuzz Daily has ceased operations, and I would like to have access to the ratings so I can report the ratings for pro wrestling. No response. Sent a second email. Good afternoon. I'm following up my email from last week. I used to have a Nielsen account with you, and I let it lapse. I would greatly appreciate if you could advise me how I could go about regaining the access to the account so I could report the ratings in the world of pro wrestling. No response. Do you even know what NXT's rating was 2 days ago? Nope. They got the rating wrong from Monday, the third hour, clickbaiting everybody. Lowest rating in the history of Raw. And it was the reverse. It was hour 1, now hour 3. What happened to all these people with their awesome connections? They were all going on Showbuzz Daily's website. Aleister Black handed a lot of people's ass to them yesterday. Aleister Black says that, unfortunately, the wrestling news sources have turned into tabloids, and that is so goddamn true. I mean, I will never forget, was it Ringside Wrestling? Which one was it? They reported that AJ Styles, they had exclusive breaking news. AJ Styles re-signed with WWE. This was a couple of years ago. AJ Styles goes out of his way to contact them and says, listen, you're hearing it from me directly. I have not re-signed with WWE yet. Instead of going on their website and saying, exclusive news, we received word, AJ Styles contacted us to advise us that he has not signed the contract yet. You know what that asshole, this is why I hate these people. You know what this asshole did? We don't even know who it was because they hide behind the website name. Wrestling News World? Okay, thank you, Rocky Red. Wrestling News World. So it's Wrestling. They actually wrote back to AJ Styles and said, we trust our sources. Unbelievable. You got the wrestler telling you straight to you, which that rarely ever happens. And you have the audacity to go back to AJ Styles and say, we don't believe you. I trust my source. That's the representation of news today. So, anyway, let me do this. There we go. All right. So, let's do it on the screen. I may have to play it a couple of times. It's not going to be that hard, trust me. Even though it's only 2 seconds of each song, 2 seconds is a little bit longer than you think. I think 3 of these 5 songs people are going to get like this. You don't have to write it in order, but you have to tell me the 5 songs or the wrestlers that belong to these 5 songs. The major hint is that the 5 songs you hear represent people who have been released from WWE sometime between 2019 and today. That's it. It's not hard. So I'm going to play you 5 songs now. Take your time. Take your time, because I don't think anybody is going to get it immediately on the first shot. I see somebody writing about dog and sympathies. What happened? Charlie, somebody in the chat room, something happened with their dog? I'm curious. There's always a 5-second delay, everyone. I have no idea. I have no censor button, so that's just the way this is configured. But whoever it is, my thoughts are with you, seriously. I mean, I don't need to go there with my dog, but, you know the deal. I'm still taunted to this day. Oh, Charlie, my dog, it was like 5 years ago, but, it still sucks, man. And I know you don't mean it with evil intentions, but believe it or not, I'll probably dream about it tonight. It's the hardest thing, man. I mean, my father's heart situation earlier this year was the worst. My mom's also, because she was pronounced dead twice. She's still here, thank God. But putting my dog down, you don't know, man. I don't know how I don't tear up now. I think maybe from talking about it so much, like I'm getting numb to it. But you know how it feels to go to sleep and then in your dreams, you're playing with your dog and you're hanging out and the dog is just, having a great time, and then you wake up. I can honestly tell you in the last 2 years, I have woken up crying. And my fiance would be like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I'm like, no. And I got an itch. And she knows exactly why. She knows exactly why. My dog, true story, a lot of you know it. Back in 2006, was it 2006 or 2008? And I think it was 2008. No, 2008. He ate some bad Nutro dog food. And I was feeding him Nutro dog food. And what happened was, and look, this is not like Studley story, but people at that time saw it in real time. Even saw the girl posting like, oh my God, I feel so terrible. I met this girl, Low Life Louis Ramos. I was one of the grooms in his wedding. That's what it is, the groomsmen? Is that what it's called? I was one of them in his wedding, which was surreal in itself because Homicide was in one of the grooms as well. And, I'm in it also. It was pretty awesome. I met a girl that was very close friends with Louis' wife. And we talked about meeting up and everything, but she lived in Jersey about an hour and a half away. So I worked out this plan that my mom was going to go to my house. I was going to feed my dog in the morning. And then my mom was going to go to my house like during the afternoon, check on my dog, feed him again and everything. And then I was going to come home at night. So I ended up staying at her house overnight. No, not going to lie. I did not do the nasty or anything like that. But I stood there overnight. And my mom checked on the dog at like 5, 6 o'clock at night. He had fresh water. He had food. So there was no issue. I was going to see him the next morning. I come home at around 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and it looks like a crime scene. There's vomit everywhere. And I find my dog, and he was laying down. He was very lethargic. He was obviously dehydrated. I called the animal hospital. I drove him to the animal hospital, and somebody had said, is your dog diabetic? And I said, no. I said, not that I'm aware of. And they said, well, he's this, he's this, he's this. Anyway, within a day or two, I found out that he was now diabetic. And my vet sent a sample of the food that I was giving him to some lab, and it came back that it had some type of, I don't even remember what was in it. So I went public. And I wrote on message boards, and I talked about it on my hotline, and I posted all over the net. Mish even made a banner, about Nutro. I don't remember the banner. It's on the Wayback Machine, but it was a really nasty banner. It was about, kill your dog, feed him Nutro. And I get an email from Nutro. Instead of apologizing and saying, we'll look into it, it's not, they threatened to sue me for slander. So I went on my hotline the next day and I said, go sue me, you assholes, you motherfuckers. And I left that banner on my website for about a year and a half. And I would get off and on people emailing me that weren't even wrestling fans. And they said, oh my God, what happened to your dog? And I said I was feeding him Nutro, chicken, whatever it was. And it ended up because what I found out at that time, and I don't know if this is still the same here. This is something you might want to look into, whatever brand you give your pets. But apparently, they used to outsource wheat from China, or I think it was China. They outsourced their wheat from China. And apparently, with dog food, I guess it doesn't have to be inspected, or it actually could go through a couple of chains that you don't normally have to do for human consumption. And some of this wheat had chemicals in it that it shouldn't have. And from my dog eating this repeatedly, he got very sick from it and became diabetic. And a lot of other dogs at that time got very sick as well. I don't remember what newspaper that originally reached out to me for an interview, but I said, no, I said, I'm not interested. I just want to take care of my dog. So long story short, for the next 6 years, I had to feed my dog custom because he was a diabetic. I had to check his blood level every day to make sure that he wasn't diabetic. I always would have to keep like Caro syrup around if his blood sugar was low. And every day, twice a day, I would have to give him insulin shots. I'd lift up the scruff of his neck, give him an insulin shot. And, you know, that's tough as it is. But the thing is that my dog would only eat at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and 4 o'clock in the morning. It had to be 12 hours apart. So every day for 6 years, I had to get up at 3:30 in the morning, cook food for my dog. 9 times out of 10, he would eat, no problem. But if he didn't eat, it made it a really bad situation because I couldn't give him insulin because then I have to worry about him being hypoglycemic. But I would have to, from a deep sleep, have to get up at 3:30 in the morning every day, cook for him, feed him, give him insulin, and then try to go back to sleep. 6 years. I mean, you know, it was worth every minute of it. But the last month was a horror show. I don't even want to talk any more about it here right now because it'll get a lot of people upset. But what I went through, that's why I won't get another dog. You know, my fiance has 3 Yorkies. In fact, one of the reasons why we clicked so well early on is because we were huge dog lovers. And, you know, my dog hung out with her dog and this and that. But once I put my dog down, that was it. I will not get another dog. And she gets upset at me to this day that I don't show a lot of love to her dogs. I'm not nasty to them, but she's like, why won't you love my dogs? I said, you don't understand. I said, there's only one dog that'll ever be in my heart. I can't let another dog get in my heart. You know, and it was pretty cruel for some people online to like call me out on that, like, wow, that's so fucked up and this and that. Yeah, you put your dog down like I did and go through what I did and see how you feel about it. So anyway, I'll probably dream about it tonight, thanks to Charles. Dead serious, but it's all good. It's all good. Something about me, if I think about something right before I go to sleep, I dream about it. I'm a heterosexual guy. I have no problem. Whatever rocks your boat, I'm cool with. But I used to joke back in the day. I don't remember what movie it was. I don't know. It might have been Brokeback Mountain. And I remember doing a Hotline episode once, and somebody had brought up that Brokeback Mountain was on TV or something like that. And I didn't watch it, but we had a conversation about it, and then I went to sleep. I had a very weird dream. I remember talking about it the next day, but usually when I think about something right before I go to sleep, I dream about it. And case in point, 3 days ago, I got an email from Twitter. Apparently about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I sent in an application to be verified. When I started to see how these blue check marks operate on social media for the most part, like they'll never socialize with you for 9 times out of 10. They'll only socialize with other blue check marks. And I don't want to single anybody out, but there's a few people out there, formerly of WWE, that have podcasts that are very sociable on social media. And if you notice, 99 out of every 100 tweets that they respond to people, it's only the blue check marks. Because either they have this setting where they don't even see your shit. And I think that's so wrong, because when you have 1 million followers, 300,000 followers, and you have all these people every day, oh my God, your hair looks wonderful. Oh my God, how's everything going? Oh, best wishes on this. Congratulations to that. Oh, this and that. Loved your show. Love this. And then you realize this person can't see any of it because they have a setting on Twitter that all they see are what the other blue check mark. I think that's so fucked up. And when I saw that more and more, I was like, no, thank you. Not interested in being a blue check mark. So anyway, 3 days ago, I was going to take a nap because I had gotten no sleep Sunday night because of AEW. I was up till 6 o'clock in the morning. So Monday afternoon, I was going to take a nap for an hour or two. And right before I went to take a nap, I said, let me check my emails. And there's an email from Twitter saying if I'd like to complete my application about being verified, and they asked me to send a front and back copy of my driver's license. And I was like, I didn't request to be verified. Then I remembered, I said, I think I actually applied 5 years ago, right before they stopped doing this stuff. So I was like, I don't know if I should, because maybe it looks like, I'm going against everything I said. But it was the last thing right before I took my nap. So when I fell asleep, I actually dreamt that I was trying to send the photos and wouldn't go through. And I swear to you, when I got up, I honestly thought that I tried to email Twitter, and for some reason I kept fucking everything up. So, what did Conor McGregor fans? His neighbor poisoned his dog for getting in his gardens. That's messed up, man. I mean, I understand why people would get angry at animals destroying their plants, but they're animals. They don't know any better. You can't get mad. You just, and people, they use a human mentality that they should know better, and that's just wrong. That's wrong. Even if they did know better, you don't poison someone. Fucked up, man. The funny thing is, I'm wearing the hell? Oh, my phone. Just in case we take calls. We may take a couple. We're already going 90 minutes. Let me just grab this cable. Sorry about that. But just in case we take calls, because I think we'll take a few. I've kind of hyped it up, so I don't want to let anybody down. But see, this is my African gray. About maybe a year ago, the bird started doing something new that he never did before. He throws his food. And, our parrot is now, my God, what is it, 25 years old? And as the older he gets, the more he demands attention. So about a year ago, he starts throwing his food. And we realize, I Googled it, he's doing it for attention. If he's being ignored enough, he picks up his food and just chucks it. So he threw the food, and my father picked up the food from the floor and threw it back at him. Didn't hurt him or anything like that, but just threw it at him, a couple of seeds. And I was like, he doesn't know. He's a wild animal. He doesn't know. Even when he bites me. I don't see any areas where I'm bit right now, but even when he bites me once in a while, he doesn't want to be bothered. Oh, come here, come here, come here. And he doesn't want to be bothered. And I say, come here, come here, come here. And then he puts his head down, and it's a setup. Puts his head down, and he wants to be pet, and as soon as snaps at me immediately. So you got to know, but he's a wild animal. As much as I love this bird, and I'll be bird sitting him next week because my parents are going to Florida on the 10th. So that's going to be fun. So anyway, let's do this contest. I'm going to play you a clip right now, 5 themes. You could type your answers as many times you want, but you got to put the 5 in one line. That's all I ask. If you misspell, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I will tell you. Let me look at the names here. I could tell you of the 5, there is at least 3 or 4 that you could actually just type one name. This is not necessarily a hint, but I don't want you to think you have to type 10 words here, because there's 5 wrestlers, obviously. But I'm going to play it, and the first person that gets all 5 correctly will win either their choice of a $100 gift card from WWE Shop or $100 gift card from Shop AEW. It is very easy, and again, these are releases from 2019 to the present. So I don't want anybody to have to worry. You don't have to go back to 05. And these names are not, let me put it this way. It's not going to be like, somebody in NXT developmental that you've never even seen on TV even once. You know what I mean? So the choices are all big names. I have two variations of this. I'm going to put the harder one on first. The only difference in the two clips that I have is one is an extra second long. So if we really have a rough time of someone not getting it right, then I'll play the other one with the extra second, and I think someone will get it. So get your fingers ready. I will give hints if anybody is close, and I will play it numerous times. No worries, no worries. And if you're on audio only and you're checking this out on the replay, play along at home. All right, here we go. Are you ready? Tell me who are the 5 wrestlers for this. You have to give me credit for my editing skills, man. I thought I put that together nice and seamless. Let's play it again. Okay, all right. We got 2 entries so far. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Let's do it again. Well, I'll tell you one thing. People right away are getting 2 of them correct. I see 2. So far, I think someone has gotten 2. So let's do it again. I will tell you it's not AOP. That is a tag team. Okay, someone has gotten 3. Okay, pretty cool. Someone has gotten 3. All right, let's play it again. Sorry if it keeps repeating. If you're on the replay, you just fast forward through this. But let's play. You know what? Let's do the one with the extra second. That's actually 2 extra seconds. No, Deli Man is not one of them. Come on, I think this was a pretty damn good one. Seriously. I mean, obviously I could only play a very short clip for copyright reasons. But that brings me back to when I was a kid. I used to listen to radio stations and they would do these contests and they would play like 5 quick songs. Okay, so far we're still only at 3. We're still only at 3. So I don't want to start having to give hints. All right, I'll give you a hint. I'll give you 1 hint. One is a female. And it's not Zelina Vega. I know the first song sounds like it could be 2 people. It's not Zelina Vega. Okay. I might have to, like, once in a while, like, mention one person's name. All right, I'll give you more hints because obviously we don't want this to go all night long. Mojo Rawley is not one of the answers. Should we just, we can't get, oh wait, whoa. Oh, Cruiserweight, you're close, man. You're close. Only 3, but you're close. You're on the right track. It's not Vanessa Bourne because I don't think enough people know Vanessa Bourne. I promise you it's not like that. Wow. Wow, I'm pretty surprised. Oh, shit. Okay, we're getting on the right track. All right, I will reveal one. One of them is Aleister Black. So you already know it's Aleister Black. So you know what? For everyone out there, you don't have to type Aleister Black anymore. You already know one of them is Aleister Black. Just type the other four. So just type the other four. Don't worry about Aleister. I'm kind of proud of myself on this one. This is pretty cool, man. Harris B, I think you're on the right path. I think you're on the right. Oh wait, oh, somebody, hold on. SoFly, I think you have too many names on that list, but you're not. I think SoFly is on the right path too. All right, we're getting close. We're getting close. So Aleister Black is the first one. You want to know something, Kavan? I was going to put Lars in there, but Lars requested his release. So that's why I didn't put Lars. It's not Lars. Let me do it again. The first one is... I'm looking. I want to make sure. All right, let's play it again. The first one is Aleister Black. So forget about the first part. You just got to get the other four. Twix, who is Andrea? Andrea. I don't know who Andrea is. We're getting close, everyone. We're getting close. We're getting very close. Very close. Some of you, I think, got 3 of the 4 right. You're very... Oh, man, there's a couple of you that have gotten 3 of the 4. Oh, my God. We're going to get it any second. Oh, boy. All right, let's do it. Let's do it again. Let's play it again. Ken, I see you. What's up, Ken? All right, I'll give you another hint. It's not Kurt Hawkins. VJ, you have Joe's name twice. You have Joe's name twice, but some of you have gotten 3 out of the 4. Almost there. Ooh. So close. Oh, my God. You got 3 of the 4. I'm sorry for the people on audio download. I'm really, really sorry, but this is kind of fun. Oh, hold on. I think we may got a winner. No. Well, Corey, you put up Andrade. Wait. Andrade? Wait, no, Aleister Black. We already know Aleister Black. You got to come up with one more. So that would be Aleister Black twice. So some of you have gotten 3 out of the 4. You know, it's very hard to keep monitoring it, but I'm telling you, it's not hard. Listen to it closely. I'll play it again. Listen to it closely. Nope. Bludgeon Brothers are not on this. You're so close. Should I reveal a second one of the 3? I'll give you another one. Oh, yeah, a lot of people are enjoying. Okay, I'll give you the second one. So now you only got to give me the other 3. All right? The second one in this clip, it's not the second audio, but 2 of the songs you hear. One is Aleister Black. The other one is Andrade. So now you got to give me the other 3. One of those 3 is a female. Just give me the other 3. Forget about Andrade and forget about Aleister. Give me the other 3. One of them is a female. So close, man. Just got to get 3 correct. You already know Aleister Black. Nope. I don't know why it's not focusing for you, Charlie. Maybe my dog put a spell on your page. Oh, whoa. Oh, no, man, so close. Joe News, close, but no cigar. Close, but no cigar. Wow, I'm a little surprised that one of them, there's one person. Some of you have gotten the female right in throughout the contest, but there's one name that I have maybe seen only once or twice. Let's play it again. Wow, so close, man. It's not EC3. I'll give everybody another hint. It is not EC3. I'll give you another one, too. It is not Rusev. It is not Rusev. Listen to it closely. You already know Andrade, and you already know Aleister Black, so don't even type their names. All I need is the other three. Listen closely. Karrion Kross has not been released, so it's not one of... Oh, close. Oh, man, so close. $100 gift card. So close. Oh, man. Oh, wait. Nope. Wow, there's one person that you omitting. I'm gonna, wait. Nope, still not. All right, should I give the third one? Wow. Hold on. Oh, man, somebody is so freaking close, man. Somebody is so goddamn close. Holy shit. All right, I'll give you the third one. So now you only have to come up with two. The very end of this clip that you've been hearing, the very end of the clip was Samoa Joe. So you already know Andrade, you already know Aleister Black, and you already know Samoa Joe. Just type the other two names. One is a male, one is a female. They've both been released sometime between 2019 and now. Listen closely. We got it. We got a winner. We got a winner. We got a winner. We got a winner. Okay, let me pause this. We got a winner. I want to congratulate Corey S. Corey S. got it correct. In order, the music that you just heard was Aleister Black, Chelsea Green, Andrade, Murphy, and Samoa Joe. This is the order of what you just heard. Yep, there you go. Wow, that was pretty damn cool, man. Do you like this concept? You want to do it again next week? We could get specific. We could do retro TNA. We could do ECW. We could do Attitude Era. I don't want to make it so it's like, spanning like 1,000 themes. I'll tell you the truth. Listen to Murphy's. Right after Andrade's music, I thought Murphy's was going to be one of the easiest because if you listen to it again, after Andrade's, Murphy probably plays the longest out of all of them. That was Murphy right before Samoa Joe's at the end. No, I won't do old school Japanese themes. I would love to do Women of Wrestling. I still have all those old themes. But I do know I won't have any problems with copyright because I've actually, long time ago when I was doing a wrestling hotline, I would do trivias like this. And back then when I did Tombstone Radio, I actually asked WWE for permission. And they didn't give me any written permission. They just told me what I needed to do so I wouldn't have any problems. You know, for the people that don't remember, by the way, you know, props, congrats, man. Very, very proud. I mean, Corey S., email me, dontony@dontony.com. Let me know which one you want, the WWE gift card or Shop AEW, and I will send you the $100 gift card. It'll be, emailed to you, the gift card, so you can go right on their website and order immediately. But little quick story for everyone out there. It's pretty funny to watch 75 people disconnect after the contest. It's all good. It's all good. But I'll tell you the funny thing. Back in the day, and I know I've told this a little bit before, I used to have all the entrance themes of all the wrestlers. In fact, I think, was it on Patreon the other day that I was telling the story about, what's his face? Steve Corino? I don't know which show I told the story about Steve Corino, but Lone Wolf, $50 gift card, runner up. Was it $50? Well, if that's from the contest, I take your word for it. But just so I want people to understand, when you see a lot of podcasters bitching and complaining about AEW hitting them with copyright flags, or people out there using clips from wrestling shows and they get hit or they play music or something like that, I've talked about this once before. Yes, Harris says I talked about Carino last Friday. Let me just say this part. Back in 2004, I think it was, there was a website called live365.com. You could have your own radio station. You could send music, upload it. The quality would be pretty shitty. But the thing is that you could upload your own music, whatever you wanted, and you could enjoy it for your own listening pleasure. So I had thousands of wrestling themes. I don't know about thousands, but 1,000 wrestling themes. I had almost every theme ever made. So I always wanted to stream on my website wrestling music for free, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. While you're hanging out on a website, checking out wrestling news, you press play and wrestling music is playing. I'm going to post a screenshot of Tombstone Radio next week, or what I will do is I will go on Wayback Machine and I will actually capture it here, and you'll actually see the player playing and how it was going. And what happened was, when I set it up, I immediately sent an email to WWE. ECW was already out of business. WCW was already out of business. I didn't give a shit about women of wrestling. They weren't going to do nothing. Japan wasn't going to do anything. AWA was already fried. So I sent them an email and I said, look, I'd like to have on my website a little music player to play wrestling theme music. I'm not trying to sell music. I'm not trying to make money off of it. I want to do it, as a little something on my website. Is there any way I could do this? They came back to me and they gave me a list of requirements. Again, I'm not extremely familiar with the music codex, but I'm sure you all know, like, music CD quality is 320, I think, kbps, I think that's what it goes. They told me that the best audio quality that I could offer was 32 kbps. So if any of you out there have like a music program that you could like edit songs or you could record stuff, when you save the MP3 file, save it in 32 Mbps quality, and you will see how awful the quality is. They told me as long as I upload it in that quality and I didn't offer it for sale and I didn't try to, do anything on the side, they allowed me to play wrestling theme music. So for 2 years on my website, I had every WWE, WWF, everything, WCW, NWA, everything playing, and they never gave me a hard time. And that goes to show you two things that still is true to this day. Number one, there's an old saying, you get more bees with honey. If you want to use something from a promotion, sending a courtesy email before you do it, is the right way to go. They may never respond. They may say no. But if you do that out of courtesy, you never know. You may get the permission. And the second thing is you got to follow guidelines. I know there's a lot of people out there, and even though I loved Mish's explanation about fair use and all that, and he is right, 95% of what Mish explained with fair use was on point. The problem is, Mish is not going to defend you in court. Neither am I, and neither anyone else that is tuning in. So if you have a show, a YouTube channel, anywhere, and you use someone else's content, you run the risk of having a problem. And if you have a problem, the only person you can blame is yourself. You could claim AEW is the bad guy. You could claim WWE is the bad guy. You could claim, oh my God, I only did this, I only did that. But the fact of the matter is, unless you have someone that's willing to defend you in court or to take them to court, you're forced to do it by the book. I don't understand why people out there, even with watch-alongs, why they insist that they got to play footage. Whether they speed it up or reverse the screen. How many of you seen that on YouTube where they reverse the screen, to try to get around it? I mean, if you're doing a good show, people could go and seek out for themselves. I look at AEW. I sent a courtesy email last Sunday that I planned on putting 60 to 100 screenshots of the pay-per-view. And I didn't get an email back until Monday afternoon. Obviously, who the hell from AEW is going to email me Sunday night at midnight? I got an email Monday afternoon, and they said as long as it's not video and it's not over a certain length, it's fine. No problems. So people out there, they just don't want to follow the rules, and when they get caught, they blame everybody else for it. Corey, will I roll over the prize to someone else in the future? If I want to do an Abyss 10-10-10, they're coming, it'll be worth $100. Check this out, everyone. I'm not shitting you all. For those in audio only, they have no idea what just happened. But I'm not trying to pander or, bullshit in any way. What Corey just did is one of the reasons why I'm here. It's one of the reasons why I was here Sunday night for 3.5 hours, Monday night for 2 hours, Tuesday on Patreon for almost 3 hours, even though we edited 45 minutes off of there, yesterday for 3 hours, and today, which is probably going to be about 2.5 hours. I mean, it's because everyone out there is so appreciative and so thoughtful and really loving this channel. Corey just bypassed that gift card and told me to let it roll, and give it to someone else. And he said that as long as I do a little impersonation, that he'll bypass it. And he super chatted $10.10. So not only is he not taking the card, can I get you a cameo? Is there anybody in the wrestling? I mean, not Ric Flair, please. He wants $1,000. Is there anybody in wrestling that you would dig a little cameo from? If you want, email me. You don't have to say it publicly. I don't know. I don't think Abyss is doing cameos. That would be pretty, well, he actually didn't say that at that time. They just held that goofy sign. But yeah, 10-10-10. They're coming. My God, one of the lamest moments in wrestling history. To see Jeff Jarrett and Abyss and Jeff Hardy with their goofy looks on their faces like they're all pointing to the sign. And the person don't even know how to write proper English. They spell, when you say they're coming, there is abbreviated for they are. So it's THEY''RE. That's how you write they're coming. Somebody who stood out in the sun too long in Orlando, Florida during that day decided, let me go to Orlando Stationery, Let me buy a piece of oat tag and a magic marker, and let me write in big bold letters, "They're coming," but I'll spell "there" T-H-E-R-E. Now, if they grabbed the sign from a 6-year-old child, I would have never made any comment about it because it's a little kid. I misspelled when but they took it from someone that looked like they were 37 years old. And they pointed to the sign like, "You see, they're coming, they're here, they're here." And it's misspelled. It was one of the most dumbest moments ever. "They're coming, they're coming, they're coming, the ring, the ring." So, was that good enough, Corey? 10, 10, 10. You know, it was pretty cool last year. Didn't we do an episode on 10, 10, 20? 10, 10, 20. It was the 10-year anniversary of 10, 10, 10. So, Corey, are you, don't super chat this, but are you the one that originally used to write as 10, 10, 10? Because I kind of remember that. 10, 10, 10. You know, another reason why I do this. No joke, man. And I take this shit seriously, VJ. He says the show is uplifting, great for mental health. It's not just for you, it's for me too. I'm telling you, it's not a joke. I mean, I know, I could change my style on these shows and get 5 times the people tuning in. I could get rid of the audio only option, which 80% of everybody that tunes in, they access. Because a lot of people just find it more convenient to listen. When they can, they watch. When they can't, they listen. But, I'd rather just everybody have a good time. I'm not stupid. I know people out there that try to throw in my face that this show has this audience and this and this. I'm not in competition with any of them. I'm in competition. No bullshit. I'm in competition with all of you out there. If you tune in every week, it's a win. It's a win. I mean, I understand, and this is my problem, that I don't expect every single one of you to tune into 15 hours of programming every week. That's an awful lot to ask of people. In my perfect world, hour on Monday, hour on Tuesday, hour on Wednesday, hour on Thursday, hour on Friday. I'd even do one on the weekend. And if I'm home, do it 7 straight days. I don't mind. It's not that hard to turn everything on if there's stuff to talk about. So I do understand, I really kind of got to trim this down a little bit. But it is definitely, soothing for me emotionally too. It's not fun. I mean, I miss my dog more than anybody could imagine. I'm very, very lucky to still have my parents here. It was weird. On Tuesday, Mish and I on Patreon went and looked at our old MySpace pages. And we looked at our account from 2008. And one of the things that was on my MySpace page at the time is, what is the one thing that I'm most thankful for or I want? And my answer was to have another holiday with my family. And that was 13 years ago. And I am blessed to still have them in my life, minus my dog. But tomorrow's not guaranteed. I mean, a year from now, who knows what's going to be on? And that bothers me because in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking about that. And when I get the call from my parents later in the evening, I always get this really awkward chill that something is wrong. I'm just picturing it. And plus COVID sucks. I should have been married by now. I haven't even had an engagement party yet. I deal with bullshit on social media, but I have thick skin, so I let it go. But, it's not fun to even to this day get, a few of you out there that, I appreciate always looking out for me. It'd be like, "Oh, DT, I was in this chat room and check this out." And it's a screenshot and it's somebody, who smiles to my face and talks a lot of shit behind my back. And they thought they were in totally friendly country that no one out there would dare show it to me. And it's like, what do I do? You know what I mean? And there's a few other people out there, but it's like, yeah, okay, I get revenge, I expose someone, I out them, and then they become tremendously depressed because social media is their release. I'm not going to take that away from people. I'd rather us just have fun. And that's what this is all about. It's just about having fun. I try to bring in some real life discussion if you want it, because life is not just pro wrestling. There's a lot of stuff going on in this world. That's why I really pushed that COVID stuff since last year, because COVID affected everybody, financially, physically, mentally. And even though I said COVID was only as bad as you let it to be, but that's not necessarily true completely, because, yeah, I was super careful, and yes, I worked, and yes, I still went away a couple of times, and yes, I tried to maximize and look at all the positive as much as possible, but that still wasn't enough. Can't have a gathering with family. I went to a wedding 4 or 5 months ago, and they have boxes that if you want to dance on the dance floor, you have to be in this box, and this person has to be in this box, and this person needs to do this. Who the fuck wants to do that? The worst part about it is my nephew, one of the ones that guy Slash ripped off from the XPW bus trips. My nephew got married 3 months ago, and we went to the wedding. His best man was his brother, my other nephew, and he caught COVID 2 days before the wedding. Now imagine getting married under already bullshit circumstances. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that at a wedding, and now your best man is not even there. So it sucks, man. But when I show you the numbers and I say, keep confident, keep confident, keep confident, we're this close. People are saying variance, this and that. I don't want to get political right now, man. Hey, Grapple Vision, welcome to the family, my friend. Definitely going to add you. Going to add you to the family as my other great members that signed up today. So by tomorrow, holy shit, we got another show tomorrow. Wow, we got another show tomorrow too. So I will have these updated. But for our other great family members, much love as always. Oh, Crazy Cruiserweight, he's bribing me $2 to do the Taz. Thank God Taz doesn't do that anymore, because that was so goddamn annoying back then. Can you imagine? I got to find out if Vince ever went in his head, because every time Taz did that, can you imagine Vince going in Taz's head? What is this? Blah, 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 blah. Could you just imagine that? Like Taz is like, Cole, do you see what he's doing? Blah, 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 blah. I can picture Vince in a headset. What is this? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, watch out, watch out. I like Taz on commentary, man. I am so happy that Taz is involved in AEW. I mean, like I said, I understand, what people say about some of the people working in AEW, but life should not end as far as a wrestling career with WWE. I don't care if you're 20 years old or 50 years old. I mean, you look at Mark Henry and Paul White and others. I mean, they killed their bodies for 20, 30 years for our entertainment. And maybe there were points in their careers where they weren't all that great. And there were other points where they were spectacular. But this is their life. And if the thing that I will tell you, the vibe I don't get, when Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan signed with TNA, I'm just refreshing this a little bit. When Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan signed with TNA, I never had a problem with Eric Bischoff stuff, because Eric Bischoff truly wanted to see that company do well. I mean, as much as people don't want to admit that to this day, he really did. But a lot of people feel to this day that Hulk Hogan just squeezed whatever money he could get out of Dixie Carter and this and that, and then brought in his friends. But the thing is, there's nobody in AEW right now that they have brought in that I feel is doing this. Jericho's not doing it. No one else there is doing it. Yes, they all kiss up to Tony Khan. Of course they're going to do that. Like I said last week, when Jim Ross says that Impact Wrestling has been tremendously benefited by AEW stuff, of course he's got to say that. What is he going to do? Say the opposite? And Impact Wrestling be like, oh, really? Oh, really? It's a waste? We're not doing business with you anymore. You know, when someone extends their hand and you take it, you don't spit on the hand, even if you want to. There's been people over the years that I've worked with, not going, that what you think, but there's been people I've worked with in the insurance industry, wrestling stuff, other areas, that, you know, it's like, all right, you know, extend my hand, you know, would love to spit in that hand, but business is business. You know, the wrestling stuff, I tried to ignore some of the politics that were going on. And, you know, obviously there were a lot of things that I wanted to do, especially for Frank Goodman's group, that I couldn't. What happened with Khan? Oh, yeah, Khan won the contest. That's right. Khan, oh, yes, near. Khan won the predictions for our YouTube channel members. You came in second, as did, who was the other person I said earlier? I forgot. But he knows who he is. I almost said Jerome Young. But I'll post it officially on YouTube tomorrow. So we got 3 prizes this time instead of 2. So congrats. Oh, my God. He fucking super chatted again. I'm not saying like you did anything wrong, but you didn't have to do that. Seriously, he's like, no cameo needed. He just, for him, TNA Wrestling died on 10/10/10. Much love, man. Much love. I thank you for that. Seriously. I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to do it next week. In fact, you know what you could do? If you want, during the week. No, I have a better idea. We'll wait till next week. I was going to say you could pick like the promotion as far as where the themes will come from, but you know, if you want to do that, you can. But we'll do something next week. Might have to name the contest after you. So, but thank you, my friend. Much love for that. That's awesome. Grapple Vision. If I am grateful to the guys for entertaining you, you can't tell them when to stop trying to entertain others in different promotions. I absolutely agree. I mean, when I was younger and you saw somebody jump to WCW, then you had somebody jump to WWF, then you have someone make a surprise appearance in ECW, that was awesome. Even if it was wrestlers that you didn't particularly care for, it was still awesome. And trust me, even if you're a younger fan out there that maybe did not experience the Monday Night Wars in real time, once Luger showed up, even when Hogan was different because of the steroid trial. We knew that he was on his way out with WWF. But when Savage showed up, you know, that was pretty interesting, especially when Vince publicly thanked him for everything on Monday Night Raw. But when Luger showed up, then you started to see people jumping and Jarrett back and forth. You know, we actually, every week, who's going to show up this week? Who's going to show up here? Because who's going to jump ship here? And there would be rumors and gossip all over the net. And it was fun. It was annoying sometimes because people would really clickbait a lot. But nowadays, someone jumps ship. Whether they're 25, 30, 50, people have to dog on it right away. You know, Sean Spears, yeah, didn't work out. He was not a perfect 10. The perfect 10? I never understood that. Whenever they would announce him as the perfect 10, it always seemed like it was a question mark, right? It wasn't the perfect 10, Sean Spears. It would always be like, the perfect 10? Like you're questioning it? Yeah, who jumped ship? That's right. Jim the Anvil Neidhart jumped ship for a little bit. But I don't get it. Why do people always have to? You know what was the best part yesterday? You know what was the best part? Watching a few people on social media that tried to be like this tough, and they're like, none of these names are a big deal. I think people need to move on with their life and worry about their own jobs. 2 hours later, they're podcasting about it. I think the Miro stuff, I think, was the worst of it. I'm still convinced that Miro in 2020 took a physical and mental break from pro wrestling. Yes, he was on AEW TV. Yes, he didn't do that much. It seemed like he was playing video games more than anything else. But after that run with WWE, it felt like that he took a break in 2020, but did a little part-time with AEW. And if you remember last year, and I'm not taking credit for this because it was just guessing, but I did say 2021. I think Miro, it'll be much different for Miro in 2021. I think 2020 was a break. By the way, I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again. I think September 5th, all-out pay-per-view, we need to see Miro and CJ Perry, a.k.a. Lana, versus Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. AEW just stepped in shit with that storyline. Kip Sabian is going to show up and attack Miro soon enough. Penelope Ford, could you picture her having like a little bit of a cat fight with Lana? Not saying any sexuality of that. I'm just saying, can you picture them trying to yank on each other's hair? Having Kip trying to pull Penelope Ford away and Miro's pulling away CJ Perry. Mixed tag match, AEW All Out. I think that is fucking phenomenal. And even if they don't sign Lana or CJ Perry to any contract, something tells me I think CJ Perry would work the one shot to be with her husband as a little bit like, you see, WWE, this is what you missed out on. Darren, I understand Rusev Lana till 2015, but is that their fault or WWE's fault? I think it's more of WWE's fault. Grapple Vision, thank you again. Everybody has a right to their opinion. And as weird as it sounded yesterday, I defended the fans. I defended some fans that said, wow, they let go of Aleister Black, but they still have Baron Corbin. And I've always ripped comments like that. This, I felt, was a little different. And I brought this up yesterday. I don't know how many of you heard me say this yesterday, but as bad as that sounds, you know, you let go of Aleister Black, but Baron Corbin still has a job. What I think some fans, and I'm sorry for repeating myself from yesterday, but what I think some fans are saying in that is, you can't come up with something creatively for Aleister Black for TV, but yet King Corbin, his whole storyline for the last 3 years is he's wearing a fucking crown where he's not a king. He doesn't have any bloodline. There's no coronation. He didn't bang a princess. This isn't Coming to America, the white version. You know, it's like he's a fake king. Does he look like a king? No. He's wearing a fucking wife beater shirt, tank top. Can't say wife beater in this state. Tank top. King. So fans are not wishing Baron Corbin to be fired. Their point is, how the fuck does this guy have this job and this much TV time, and this guy, with all his creative stuff, they can't do nothing for? And by the way, I know someone is going to throw this up here, so I'm going to answer it now. I did see what Booker T said, that Aleister Black never really did anything to make himself stand out. Booker T is a little strange sometimes with his comments. I, as a wrestling fan, flat out disagree. Because Aleister Black was creative as fuck out there. I think a lot of people forget, and I think what Booker T forgets. I think what Booker T forgets is that there was a point that we all ripped the Aleister Black character. Do you remember how many months they would have him sitting in a dark hotel room, and they would do a promo, "Fight me. I beg you, fight me. Where is everybody? Fight me." And it got so bad that we were like, you want to fight someone? Leave the fucking hotel room. It was so bad. That's WWE's fault. That's not Aleister Black's fault. For 3 months, just a little spotlight, dark hotel room, cutting a promo, "Fight me. Somebody, I beg you, fight me." Just looks so stupid. So when Booker T says something like that, where was Booker T's comments when stuff like that's going on for months? And he's absent from that. So maybe if he would have spoke up at that time, maybe if more people in wrestling with the blue check mark spoke up at that time and like, why is WWE wasting Aleister Black sitting in a hotel room week after week after week saying, "Fight me"? That's like us on the internet. That's like us on social media. Twitter. Oh, you could like badmouth people and hide under a fake photo or a fake name or a baby picture. And they say, oh, that person's in front of their tough person in front of their computer in their mama's basement. That's what Aleister Black was. Fight me. Yeah, when you're locked in a hotel room. Just like social media. Yeah, tough guy when you're sitting in your mama's basement behind a keyboard. So if more of the blue check marks would have called out WWE at that time, why are you wasting Aleister Black like this? Then maybe somebody in creative would have said, never looked at it like that. And maybe they're right. No, but what they do is the people on social media that complain, those are people that complain about everything. And in the end, they didn't help Aleister Black at all. So I'm checking out the chat room to see what's going on right now. So, but thank you again, Grapple Vision. So, guys, what do you want to do? You want to take a couple of calls? Should we just call it for tonight and do it tomorrow, Friday, after SmackDown? I mean, what's your thoughts? I'll leave it up to you. Majority rules. I mean, we don't have to take calls. I mean, obviously, there's times where, we definitely should. And, I'm fine with doing them. I absolutely love talking to all of you out there. Yes, Near, I will take care of your PayPal tonight or tomorrow morning. So, yes, I did get it, by the way. All right, so you know what? Yeah, Chris, no, that was the Chase Chronicles. The Chase Chronicles. See, the problem is, Chris, the reason why I can't bring back the Chase Chronicles is I was legit in bad debt at the time. So credit card companies were really calling me, but they were using pretty fucked up collection tactics, and I would throw it right back in their face. So, that's why I was doing it. And the funny thing is, since most of them were outsourced from India, their English wasn't so great. So under my breath, I would be like, you don't mind if I'm playing this for everybody right now, right? Stream, or I'm going to record this and play for everybody. And they'd be like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's not the point. We need for you to talk about this ballot. Okay, but I want to, you do know I'm going to play. Yes, sir. Like, they didn't even know what I was talking about. And then I would play it and then get an email from a bank like, you need to take this down. I'm like, no, your rep gave me permission. But when 1-800-Flowers fucks up, I'll be more than happy to play it. That was awful. Those places are awful with the flowers. But sometimes if you really complain, even if the order goes perfect, like they don't even want to deal because they're intimidated sometimes. Some people have told me, even if you order from 1-800-Flowers and the delivery is perfect, call their customer service and say, I just got my order and these flowers are about half the size it's supposed to be. They don't ask you for photos. They don't ask you for anything. What they'll say is, I'm sorry, sir, could you give me your order number, please? And they pull it up. Sir, what I will do is I will offer you a replacement or a full refund. Now, the flowers are fine, so there's no reason to get a replacement. So you'd be like, you know what? It's too late now. The holiday's already almost over. I'll take the refund. They give you the refund. You don't tell your mom or your significant other that you got a full refund. They're enjoying the flowers, and you got them for free. That's how it works. All right, let's take some calls. Hopefully this works without a hitch. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Again, I did not know 225 area code is Louisiana. I will work on getting a different toll-free number. I have a toll-free number already. I got to see how catchy it is. If it's a number that everybody will remember, then next week we'll start using that one instead. It sucks that I have this number. You know, it's already bought and paid for. But again, if anybody out there is, then again, you know, maybe your phone setup, you don't get hit with long distance charges. But if enough of you out there reach out to me and say, look, I want to call in, but, you know, it's going to cost me money to call a Louisiana number, then Near has asked me if I could get an overseas number. I'm sure I can get an overseas number. But I would think if I get a toll-free number, wouldn't that resolve it, though? If I get a toll-free number, it shouldn't cost anything regardless. So, anyway, I just lifted the Do Not Disturb. Oh, I have to take the ringer off. Otherwise, you're going to hear Mario, because I have Mario as a ringtone. Yeah, all right, I shut that off. Now, like I said, this software I have, one of the problems with this software is when I remove Do Not Disturb, it doesn't notify the company immediately. There's like a few seconds to maybe even a minute difference. If I put it back on, sometimes it doesn't happen immediately. So, again, this is just temporary. You know, unfortunately, some people with shows out there, they have not reached out and to offer any assistance whatsoever. So I'm doing this on the fly. And honestly, as we go along, I'll tweak it. But if you want to call in, 225-366-8669. Again, all I ask is, you know, if you have something specific that you would like to talk about, or if you want to give some shout outs for anybody tuning in. And this way we could go through the calls as quickly as possible. So if you want to call in, hopefully, like I said, you know, this Do Not Disturb gets lifted. So if it doesn't work for any reason, then we'll do it tomorrow. Yesterday, I actually was testing it about an hour before we went live. So I was able, yeah, see, now I'm getting an error message. So let me see. All right, now let's try it now, see if somebody wants to call in. And it was weird because yesterday, yeah, it says it's on the screen. Yeah, 225, Don Tony, 225-366-8669. But this Do Not Disturb thing is the thing that's really quirky. So, hey, who's this?
Oh, my, you really answered the phone. That is crazy. Hi, DT, how you doing?
Good, good. What's going on?
Oh, my God. You really answered the phone. That's so crazy. I'm good, man. How you doing?
Yeah. What's up?
Nothing much, man. Just had a quick question.
Sure.
Hold on. Let me actually, sorry about that. I don't want the echo going on. I'm so sorry. So about these releases, so it's kind of crazy, right? Like a guy like Braun Strowman, you know, I guess they were building him the past couple of years, like a big main event player. I just, like, is it really a contractual thing, or is it just more of like probably like a hidden incident they're trying to hide?
I think people out there right now are trying to figure out the answer. I saw today some people claiming that Vince McMahon said that Braun Strowman is 2 years too late or 2 years past his prime, which I think is absolutely moronic because if you look at any of the photos right now of Braun Strowman, he's in the greatest shape of his life. You watch him at Mania, WrestleMania Backlash. You watch him at Mania with Shane. He moves faster. I mean, he was moving so fast that they started doing those ridiculous train sound effects. They didn't do that because he got slower and more like, you know, wobbly. The guy could move. I don't understand it. The only thing I could think of is Mish and I have talked about it for quite a bit the last bunch of months, that they have so many big men on their roster. It's crazy how many big men they have. And I think when you have that many big men, Braun Strowman doesn't look as big anymore because you got so many big men on that roster. And the thing is, we talked about even with the tag team division, Braun Strowman, if he becomes a tag team partner with someone, they're going to be so huge in size that it's going to be a little bit of a hard sell to see them go down to size against maybe a smaller tag team like the Lucha House Party or someone else. So I just think that Braun Strowman, they creatively can't figure out, because it takes two to tango. They can't figure out who to pair him up with. And meanwhile, he's getting paid a decent amount of money. And, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if we find out later that they wanted to maybe downsize his contract a little bit, and he wasn't interested in that. Because, you know, I don't remember if he used an agent, but I'm pretty sure he used that same agent that some of the other wrestlers were using. Not the one that with Major League Baseball. I can't remember his name right now, but Jeffrey Epstein. No, Jeffrey Epstein's a pedophile. What am I saying? Scott Epstein. Scott Epstein. But,
Okay.
yeah, I just think that they just don't have, like, anybody to pair him with. And with that kind of money, they probably just figured, look, you know, and look at AEW. I mean, Cody admitted that they're a light heavyweight company. So, you know, if he shows up there, what is he going to do? Feud with Powerhouse Hobbs? Does that feel like a threat? So I think WWE realized that Braun Strowman probably not going to be, you know, the game changer for another promotion right now, and they parted ways. It's a shame, though, because I kind of enjoyed Braun Strowman over the last year. I thought he was doing some of his best work.
Yeah,
You know?
he really is. Especially with, like, as you said, we're kind of like leaving that. We definitely left that era of like the Hogans and the Warriors and whatnot.
Sure.
He definitely stood out, especially in like this, you know, high flying type of era. So yeah, it was just kind of a shocker. So
yeah. Well, I appreciate you calling. What's your name, by the way? Because a few people were asking.
Yeah, no, this is actually Rain Entertainment.
Oh, okay, Rain. Oh, all right. What's going on? Cool, very cool.
Yeah, not so much, man.
Well,
yeah, so
you know,
thank you
just
for taking the call, brother.
Yeah, and thank you for calling in. And like I said, just bear with me a little bit with you know, just doing this and getting used to the phone system. And you know, as we do this more and more, it'll get more seamless. And yesterday I was working on typing the names and putting it on the screen. Look, when Mish is on with me, it's a lot easier because Mish could start the conversation. And meanwhile, in the background, I could be doing a few things over here. But trust me, we do this for a couple of more weeks, and it'll be pretty much seamless. So, hey, you're on. Who's this?
Oh, it worked. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Hey, Don Tony. I'm a goody Dayhawk.
Oh, cool. So you got it early, right?
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't respond to you. I was watching you on my television set.
That's
so
okay.
You know.
What's going on tonight?
Well, I wanted to say, you know, TV Tracks led me to you, and since then I became a big fan of yours. I think it was you did that skit where you were acting like Rusev, like, I'm Rusev, I'm your champion, I'm time to poop on belt, and that kind of.
Oh, yes. The dog. The what's that? The dog, the angry dog with the cigar, Triumph. I am Rusev. I go poop. I am Rusev. I'm like Triumph, the angry dog. I do poo-poo in your boot. Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think I even photoshopped I photoshopped Triumph's head on Rusev's body that time.
Yeah, and I think it was, you did it on your Breakfast with Flossie. I think it was that, if I can remember correctly.
Yeah.
And since then I've been a fan of yours, and it's just, since Patreon and all that stuff, and I just wanted to say thank you, and hopefully you and your family are okay with all this chaos, and, that sort of thing.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me, more than you know, and, your support and everybody that, stands by me, it just gives me more incentive to just work harder and harder. But, I've been wanting to do the calls for a while. I know a lot of you have been wanting to call in, and, it was time. It was time. And it's pretty cool because a lot of people out there also is now getting to hear the voice behind some names and some that they're always talking to, but just through text. But cool hearing your voice, man. I'm glad you called in.
Yeah, I knew it was a long shot, but I figured just do it and see if you get it.
I'm glad you got through. I'm glad you got to. Anybody that's having a hard time, like I said, I will work out the kinks so we could start, getting into these a little bit deeper. And, maybe we could start putting some people on hold so they don't have to call back 1,000 times. But I'm glad you got through.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much. A big fan of yours, and keep up the good work. You're a down-to-earth guy, a straightforward guy. You seem like a down-to-earth type of man, and, that sort of thing. Just, thank you so much.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Thank you, and hopefully I could call you back later on.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, have a good night.
Bye. Goodbye.
All right, be well. Hey, you're on. Who's this?
Oh, hey, Doctor. It's Grapple Vision.
Grapple Vision, what's up?
It's awesome to talk to you. I was gonna try to ask a quick one about, we were talking about how things used to be back during the whole Monday Night War thing with everybody bouncing back and forth and all that. Do you think kind of some of the things Tony Khan has put out to the public and, made his stance on things, do you think that's going to hinder any of that? Because, he's banned Hulk Hogan, but he brought in Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson has some kind of sketchy things in his past, but he's banned Hulk Hogan to kind of please people on a certain level. Do you think that's going to kind of hinder the people going back and forth and, some of the excitement that we could be getting out of things? Maybe he'll curtail some of that so that he can kind of please social media kind of stuff.
Well, the thing is, I'm not taking credit for this. Before they even took off, I was always using the phrase at the time that AEW is going to be the first true millennial company. And you could see the appeasing of cancel culture and going out of their way to put down some names, and that's going to catch up, because even Justin Roberts, I'm not accusing him of anything, but Justin Roberts does have a couple of accusations against him, and that seems to be ignored. And then you hear little rumblings about that. I think as time goes by, I think Tony Khan more and more is going to avoid those situations, because it's going to come sooner or later that he's going to have a very important person in that company, and there's going to be some type of accusation or something, and that person may be involved in a very big storyline, and if there's nothing proven that person did anything wrong, now Tony Khan is in a big dilemma, and he's like, well, this person, this is just an accusation, so we can't. But then on the flip side, the way he rushes, look at Willie Urbina, okay? I don't know if you heard about, him mocking Hikaru Shida, okay?
Yeah.
Now,
that was a week ago.
Yeah. They fired him immediately. Now, personally, I don't know him. I don't know if he's racist. I don't know. I thought Meltzer, as much as people criticize Meltzer, I thought he made the best, he wrote it the best way. He said that Willie Urbina was fired for mocking Hikaru Shida's voice. He didn't say racist once, but 9 out of every 10 people online that talked about it called Willie Urbina a racist. Now, the one thing that people seem to have left out of that is, I think it was Alex Abrahantes that said to him, "Do Shida." Now, what does that mean? "Do Shida" means that Urbina has obviously impersonated her before, and they wanted him to do it again. It's just, I guess, it was a live mic or whatever it was. My point is that, I make fun of people with a New York accent. I make fun of people, different stereotypes, this and that. There's no hatred. I don't do it anymore because it offends a lot of people. My point is that it's not always racist. It's mocking someone's accent. It's mocking someone's, it's not always about, but Tony Khan is going to realize that it's got to be handled a little bit more professional. I think the more Tony Khan, I think the more Tony Khan speaks publicly, I think the more you're going to see Tony Khan as a character. Like when he talked about the New Japan stuff, that seemed more like Tony Khan trying to be a heel character. Didn't sound like an executive talking about another executive, calling Nick Khan the con man of Connecticut. Or you can't, you know what I mean? It's just,
I think he's trying to find his spot. You see guys like Vince and Eric Bischoff. He's got a persona, and like Paul Heyman. Everybody who's a big promoter, they kind of have their own persona going. He's trying to find his, and it's taking a second.
What Tony
it's
Khan
not really coming to a snap.
Yeah, what Tony Khan is going to realize quickly is that, contrary to what people will try to convince you on social media, each and every one of us out there have had times in our lives where we misbehaved, said something wrong, may have done something wrong. Nobody is perfect. And once in a while, a story is going to come out, and you can't judge someone on some dumb shit that they might have said 10 years ago. It's what they have done since then to see. They grew up, they learned their lesson, they were immature, they this. That is more important. But if you're going to judge someone about anything that comes up negative, he's going to have some problems in the future.
Yeah, I agree. I appreciate it too, brother. I wanted to ask you what you thought about that. Like the whole banning Hulk Hogan and then a month later bringing in Mike Tyson, that threw some crazy mixed signals, in my opinion.
I mean, as much as I love Tyson, he's a convicted rapist.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing. And they just kind of overlook it. It was weird.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you, Don Tony. Thank
Much
you.
love,
sir.
my
I
friend.
really liked it.
Thank you for calling in. Have a good night.
You too.
Take care. 225-366-8669. I got to always remember to take the do not disturb off, so this way we could keep having it roll through. Hey, you're on. Who's this? Hello. Goodbye. 225 Don Tony. By the way, I want to just let everyone know, I do see names popping up, I guess, for caller ID stuff. I'm never going to shout out anybody's names on these caller IDs unless it's someone that has called in before and I know who you are, because, some use nicknames and I would never reveal, a name that pops up over here. But like I said, when Crazy Cruiserweight calls in or someone else and I recognize the name, then that's different. But like I said, this software, I'm kind of like using a program that works with Google Hangouts, but hey, so far so good. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Don Tony?
Hey, not much. What are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm Steve. I called in yesterday.
Yep. I recognize.
I had a discussion with you.
Yeah. What's on your mind?
Well, just a couple of things, because I know it's more of a Q&A thing.
Sure.
The first thing was about, did you, I don't remember, because I usually try to watch, sometimes I watch in, as live, or, if I miss something, I try to catch up on it. Did you see Lance Archer talking about he wanted a super heavyweight title in AEW? I remember you're talking like the big guys. It's tough for them to promote the big guys.
Absolutely.
Is that something that you would like to see? Because I know you said you did want a belt, but I mean I don't know if that would help them with the exposure for the big guys and stuff.
Listen, I know for a lot of people out there, that promo that Cody said by his limo with Dasha, it was it's just, promo during the show. I thought that was huge. I thought that was very, very serious what he said. Because if you go back and you look at the whole storyline in Cody at that time, when he just blurted out there that they're a light heavyweight promotion, why would you even say that cutting a promo on a TV show? And that's when it put me on the radar, okay, I want to see how to handle these big guys. And then they bring Powerhouse Hobbs up and he does nothing. Lance Archer is throwing people up through a roof in the back and people in garbage cans, calling everybody out, and does nothing. Miro 2020, okay, I write that off. But they really have done next to nothing with a lot of these big guys. I think the person who came the closest was Lance Archer in that tournament, but he ran into the Cody wall. So when you see everything that's going on and you see, really pay attention on who's being pushed, a lot of these super heavyweights, like, you know, there's only so many times that you can accept Brian Cage and Powerhouse Hobbs, you know, running out of Dodge when 62-year-old Sting shows up with a baseball bat, whatever it is. So I personally think that they need to have another secondary title. I don't consider the TNT Championship the secondary title. I don't put it on the level as an IC belt or a U.S. title. I think you need the heavyweight title and you need a secondary title that anybody, any shape, any size can compete for. And, you know, the TNT Championship, they do that more to appease the network and like a title that represents the network. You think the network, you know, they want more recognizable names, big names, stars of tomorrow, you know, their flagship wrestlers to hold those belts. If you look at the title holders so far, you had Darby Allin, you had Brody Lee, God rest his soul, a very recognizable person, Cody, a recognizable person, Miro, a recognizable person. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you're going to see a Powerhouse Hobbs with that belt, you know, or Griff Garrison with that belt. I think they need to create another championship. I hear the rumors of a trios title. I do not want to see that right now. You got a tag team championship already. Why are they doing a trios title? So they don't have to take it off the Young Bucks. You know what I mean? It's just,
yeah.
I feel what Lance Archer is saying, and we all feel it, Lance. We all see it.
Yeah, and I think he also said in the same interview that he would like to go to New Japan, and maybe if he feels like he would like to go back someday, maybe he feels like if they don't use him correctly, that maybe he thinks that he could just go back there. Because from when he was, I mean, I'm assuming that he thinks that, you know, when he left, I don't think he has like any backlash with them or anything like that. So I wouldn't see like if he did want to do that, what I wanted to taking him back. And what you're saying about the trios title, I don't want to see that either. I follow there's like this AEW page, and they always usually like on like Facebook and stuff, and they usually post like news about like that. And what they're talking about the trios title, it kind of seems like that's going to happen too, because they've been posting a lot about that and the stuff that Cody's saying, and it's looking like that they might actually do that. I'm with you. I don't want to see that either, because I mean, even with the tag team division, like the division's stacked, but you even talked about it. I think it was about like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Like Santana and Ortiz, like that was like the first time that they had like a title shot, and they're like a really really good tag team. And then it's like, what do you like? How many guys, like, you know what I mean? Like to really like to do that as far as like a 3-way team that you're gonna do, and then you're just gonna like pair up like all these like guys just because like they have like 3 or 4 different like stables. I think it'd be just be like gimmicky and stuff.
Yeah. I definitely recommend anyone out there that's a Lance Archer fan, if you haven't seen his work in New Japan over the last couple of years, go seek it out. That's why I even say, you know, when I brought up the WWE rumors with New Japan, what a lot of people need to do is they need to look at Hulk Hogan's matches in New Japan. When you see Hulk Hogan wrestling in New Japan, and then you realize that half the moves that he does in New Japan, he doesn't do in the United States. Because in New Japan, you can't get away with the cartoon shit. So when people complain about some of the match types they get in WWE right now, some of those wrestlers, they go to Japan for a super show, they will open it up like you've never seen before in some wrestlers. And Lance Archer, you see what he did in New Japan, he did a lot more in New Japan than he's done in AEW.
Yeah, even in TNA, I remember when he was Lance Hoyt, and they had him as Lance Hoyt in TNA, and I wasn't really a fan of his at that time, I was just like, oh, look at this guy. He ain't anything good. And then all of a sudden, like, because like the Young Bucks, like when I started like watching like the Young Bucks and like Kenny Omega and stuff, like those guys just from doing all that stuff and like New Japan, because for me, I was like a big AJ Styles fan. So once I seen that he left Impact Wrestling and he went to New Japan, that's when I really like started to check it out. And then that's when I got to see a lot of those guys. And like that's how I got to know like some of the different wrestlers and some of the matches. Like I actually enjoyed it. Like I was watching it for those guys, and then I got the exposure of like everybody else, and I've been like a big fan of that. Yeah. Even like you know, like what's his name? You know, like the world champion. I can't even think of him right now. They just gave him the title back. The Rainmaker. I ended up liking him, and you know, like the dude that, and the guy that does like the eye thing. Like I knew all these wrestlers, man, but you know, you get on it, it's like hard to, like you lose like your train of thought almost. Sure. But I mean, I understand it. I'm with you. I like the New Japan stuff. I like the New Japan stuff. Like I always think that stuff's like, you know, that stuff's like pretty good.
Yeah, I feel what Lance Archer is saying, and you know, I think some people need to be a little bit more outspoken in AEW also, because a lot of people in WWE seem to have a no problem making some shots on social media about their own company. A lot of people in AEW seem to keep extra quiet, and I think if some of the other big names start speaking out a little bit, then you might see things handled a little bit differently. So hopefully we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. And before I let you go, man, yeah. I just wanted to ask, because I know, like on Thursdays it's more of like a laid back day. So I know you're like a big fan of wrestling, and you talk about like the sports and stuff like that. Do you occasionally, like when we if there's like shows or stuff that's going on before that, do you like watch that stuff like before like a show or anything like that, or like during like your off days?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it really depends on what's on. I mean, I'm definitely watching NWA this weekend. And I was going to do a recap, but I just think logistically it's going to be a little difficult for me, so I might just save it for Wednesday. But yeah, I mean, some of the other shows I do watch it on the other days. I mean, I want more people to get into them, so it gives us a reason, you know, to do special recaps for them also. But yeah, I'm always out there trying to, you know, keep up to date and, you know, enjoying some of the other I'll just say this very quickly. A lot of people this week are raving about Jeff Hardy versus Mustafa Ali from Main Event. And the one comment I kept reading over and over again on social media the last 24 hours is, why is this not on Raw? I watched the match. The match is awesome. You see Jeff Hardy in this match, you'd be like, where has that Jeff Hardy been? Here's the thing, though. My answer is, why does it have to be on Raw? Okay, it's on Main Event. Yes, they're not getting the TV exposure by being on Main Event. But as long as you could watch it, what do you care if it's Raw? What do you care if it's SmackDown? What do you care if it's Main Event? If it's out there and it's good, there's no excuse but to watch and enjoy it.
I'm with you, man. That's how it should be. And I like, for me, like I remember yesterday, I also felt bad yesterday too with like all the releases for like Eva Marie. They keep bringing it up. Well, how come they fired like these like good guys, but they brought in like Eva Marie?
Yeah, she's her character's set up for something totally different. Can't compare one person with the other. Those are people that are just, you know, I don't know. Everybody looks at it differently. But well, listen, my friend, thank you for calling in again. Awesome. Great convo. And, yeah, definitely call again.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for letting me have a second just to talk to you, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. I mean, I've been a big fan, just like the guy said, TV tracks.
Yeah.
That's how I found some of your stuff. I didn't even know that you had a website or anything like that. And I just seen all those clips on, like, YouTube and stuff. And then once I finally got to see that you had like a podcast and stuff, then I just started to watch.
Well, I appreciate it, man. And we have plenty of time to catch up. All the years that I didn't take calls for a while, so don't be a stranger.
Problem, man. Oh, definitely, man. I'll definitely try to talk to you when I can. I definitely want to let somebody else on. So thanks, man. Thanks for giving me the time to call up. Yeah,
You're welcome, my friend. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Take care, man. So what are we at? 2 hours? Oh, Charlie Conway doesn't know anything about TV Tracks. TV Tracks was a YouTube channel that would post clips of various podcasts. TV Tracks asked me permission. Can I post clips of your shows? Because I wasn't doing YouTube at the time. You know, I don't know how far back you know as far as what I do, but I've been doing this in some capacity since 97. For years, people were telling me, go to YouTube. When are you going to go to YouTube? When are you going to go to YouTube? When are you going to do video? When are you going to do video? And I never did. I finally made the decision in 2019 to offer a video version of what I do. And I got to make that clear, because some other podcasts that you all enjoy out there, they don't give you an audio only option. It's YouTube or nothing. And I get why they do it that way, and it's good. I'm not going to crap on anybody's, hard work. But I decided to do a video version of my shows. TV Tracks shut down, or he just stopped uploading clips about 3-4 years ago. And TV Tracks was one of my Patreons, too. I never met him personally. I don't even remember his name, his real name. But my assumption of what happened to TV Tracks is that at that time, that was when YouTube stopped monetizing wrestling shows. You remember that? Remember when YouTube stopped monetizing wrestling shows? And listen, as many hours as I am up here a week, just think about TV Tracks. He would listen to hours of what I do during the week, Jason Solomonster, and a lot of other podcasts. And he would take clips and post individual clips of everything. And you realize this guy must have been spending 40 hours a week listening to shows, editing, and posting them. Now imagine doing that for 40, 50 hours a week, getting, crazy-ass revenue from it, and then YouTube pulls the monetization. So when that happened, you had some shows completely shut down. You had some wrestling feds shut down because YouTube was their only stream source. And I remember about a week after that happened with YouTube, he sent me a message on Patreon, and he told me, he's like, DT, I'm going to take a little break for a little while. I just want to thank you for, allowing me to put your stuff up and, always, supporting you and this and that. And I wrote back to him like, man, don't be a stranger. I said, if you're not posting, I said, you could still, chat. And I never spoke to him ever again. So I think he was just crushed. But the thing is, since then, I don't know. See, I wasn't doing stuff on YouTube at the time, so I don't know how much money he was making. I have a good idea because I just see the stats and, I could add, multiply, and get a good idea. So he was making a nice, comfortable living off of posting the shows, and he deserved it. Once they took the monetization away, he was done. You remember Epic Sports? Epic Sports is another one. Epic Sports just picked up and left, and that's right around the time that they stopped monetizing. There was a few other places that had some clips of my shows, but those two, TV Tracks and Epic Sports, were the only two that I gave permission to post the stuff. Once I started doing YouTube, then I started finding out about channels that had like 90, 100 episodes of my stuff up there full. And I remember one in particular, I sent them like 10 messages. I'm like, look, I'm starting YouTube, I need you to take these down. I don't want to put in copyright requests because I don't want you to have your channel ruined. He ignored them all. Then I started posting comments on all his video uploads for all the other shows. I'm like, dude, you got to email me. And he still ignored them. And I know he saw them because he would respond to other people's comments. So what did I do? I had to report it to YouTube, and his channel got shut down. They must have hit him with like 100 copyright flags, because my work is under a corporate name. I have a corporation and I pay taxes and everything else. So all I do with YouTube is, look, this is my content. Here's my corporation. I show them proof. They take it down. So, yeah, but I don't know. Maybe we'll take one more call. We're right around the 3-hour mark, and I know this is kind of brutal for a lot of you out there to go through 3 hours today, 3 hours yesterday, 2 hours Monday, 2 hours. So we'll take one more for tonight. And then tomorrow, since we'll have SmackDown to talk about, there won't be that much to get into tomorrow. So we'll take more calls tomorrow. So, hey, what's going on?
Hey, DT, what's going on? This crazy Cruiserweight.
Hey, Cruiserweight. Hey, you were the first one to join me yesterday on phone, and tonight you're the last one. So tomorrow, I'll be up here after SmackDown. Tomorrow, I will do SmackDown. We'll do a live watch-along of Dynamite, and we'll take calls for maybe like a half hour after Dynamite goes off the air. So what's going on?
Yeah, I found that tweet that AJ Styles had responded to about his contract. And I found what Wrestling News World said fully. It says, full respect to AJ, however, I stand behind the story, and time will certainly tell the validity of the story.
Could you do me a favor? Could you repeat that one more time? I want people to understand. This wrestling website made breaking exclusive news that AJ Styles re-signed with WWE. This was a few years ago. AJ Styles, even though he didn't need to do this, he actually went out of his way to contact that website to tell them what they're reporting is not true, that he has not signed the deal yet. Now tell everyone again what their response to AJ Styles was after AJ Styles contacted them directly.
They said, full respect to AJ. However, I stand behind the story, and time will certainly tell the validity of the story.
That's just Bush League, unprofessional, disrespectful. Even if AJ already signed the contract, the right thing to do, because without AJ Styles, you're not reporting anything. I'm talking about them. The respectful thing to do is, thank you, AJ. I really appreciate you clearing this up. Even if deep down inside, I know that he already signed the deal. I go public and I say, exclusive. We were contacted directly from AJ Styles, who advises us that he is not. And guess what? If you would have done the right thing and report what AJ said and accept it as fact, because that's the source, AJ Styles may have contacted him again in the future. They may have been called as soon as he signed the deal. But instead, basically, they're saying, AJ, we don't believe you. That's just ultimate disrespect. That's garbage. That's garbage.
I also wanted to bring up, I know you and Mish talked about Monday about the 50 greatest tag teams of all the WWE was celebrating.
Yes.
And so I don't know if you saw the first list already. So Rizongo's hosting this list, this countdown, right? So it was strictly said it was going to be 50 years of WWE tag teams, right? So you're not going to get any WCW tag teams inside of this thing. So no Harlem Heat or any Hollywood Blondes, okay? So I don't know if you saw the list already. If not, I could run it down.
No, you could share it. If you got it, yeah, share. I think people would be curious.
Yeah, I got it. Number 50, the Bushwhackers. Number 49, Too Cool. Number 48, the Quebecers. Number 47, the Smoking Guns. Number 46, Strike Force. Number 45, the Head Shrinkers. Number 44, X-Pac and Kane. Number 43, Batista and Ric Flair. That's their time when they were in Evolution.
Yeah,
tag
Evolution,
champions. Right. Number 42, Eminem. Number 41, the Nasty Boys. Number 40, Rated RKO. Number 39, Brian Kendrick and Paul London. Number 38, DIY. Number 37, the world's greatest tag team, Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas. And number 36, Money Incorporated.
Okay. That is interesting. That is very interesting. I mean, look, in my opinion, what you have right now is, I think, just random. You know, like, I am not going to really complain, like, if this one is like 36 and this one is 45. I mean, right now it seems very random. I will say this. Some of those tag teams were a tag team for a very short period of time. So my immediate reaction is, I think this list is designed to try to give everybody some type of history. I will say this. Nothing against MSK. I've said it 100 times. I have this shirt. Big fan of this. But the fact that MSK is not on that list yet, if they pop up on this list at all, that is a joke. They've only been in NXT for a short period of time. Maybe they will not include NXT tag teams. I don't know if they
included DIY. No, they did that. They included DIY.
Okay, so they are going to include. Yeah, boy, I tell you, that's going to be interesting because they haven't been there long enough. I don't know, man. I don't know who's going to be number one. You know, my gut feeling is that the Legion of Doom may still be number one after everything is said and done. I think the Hart Foundation will be in the top 5. I
would hope so, but if they're like top 20 for the Hart Foundation, I could see the problem with this.
I'll tell you who I think is going to be in the top 5 already. I think you could have Edge and Christian in there. I think you could have the Dudleys. I think you could have the Hardys. I think you could have the Legion of Doom, and I think you could have the New Age Outlaws. I think that might be my top 5.
Notice how you never said Demolition at all.
Well, no, Demolition I think would be in the top 10. I think the Hart Foundation will be in the top 10. You know, I got to think about it a little bit further. In fact, maybe Monday I'll give everybody what I think is going to be the top 10.
So yeah, it's just 50 years of tag team. So it's like interesting. It's for WWE, so like they went back to WWF times as well. So
they're going to put Mr. Fuji and Mr. Saito, the Strongbows, Professor Toru Tanaka, Mr. Fuji. You will see some names on there. I think you'll see the Brothers of Destruction in the top 20. So yeah, I think from 35 to 20, you're going to see more legendary tag teams being included.
So like Rock and Sock, you think would be in there as well?
Oh yeah. Rock and Sock will be in there.
I kind of got surprised when I saw Strikeforce. I was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, I was like, well, you know what? I'm like, and it's kind of funny. You did mention when Martel did turn on Santana during the tag team match at WrestleMania, and I'm like, it's funny how you bring Martel up, but you don't have him in the Hall of Fame yet. That's just me.
Yeah. I mean, I think he'll eventually go in. But I just don't look. I remember when Strikeforce was out there, and wasn't that long.
Yeah.
So we'll see the rest of the list.
They debuted in '87. So
yeah.
But some of them, I'm not. It's just that with DIY, I kind of I get it. Well, Strikeforce they debuted August of '87. They disbanded April 2nd of '89. So
yeah. I guess that's long. Yeah, it's a little bit longer than. Yeah, okay, I could see that. But, I kind of like, I'm going to be very curious to see what the next 15 is, 15 to 20. Because I think we have a good idea what the top 15 will be, just based on, the last 20, 25 years. And there'll be 1 or 2 exceptions to the rule. But, like I said, Hart Foundation will definitely be on there. But, it'll be curious to see who they put. There's going to be at least 5 tag teams that people are going to be like, oh, come on. They have no business being on this list.
Would it remind you, I remember the list from a long time ago where they made the top 10 greatest factions and you did not like that list at all.
No.
Where they had put the Shield as number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 10 best factions of all time. Are they going to, now here's the thing. I see Undisputed Era could be on this list. The New Day as well. I see DX, Hart Foundation, like you said. I don't know if they will put Nexus on there, but still.
Yeah. It's, I mean, these lists are, I think, like I said, they're all designed to include some people in history that they left out before. And then 10 years from now, they'll do another list. And they might even then do the greatest 100, so they don't have to leave anybody out, but they could add in another bunch of people. It's just, a lot of it's politics. I mean, some people rightfully deserve their number one spot, but come on. In the history of WWE, the Shield is the greatest faction.
Well, no, they said the 10 best factions of all time. That was what the post. So yeah, they include the Horsemen. And
so even worse. I mean,
the NWO. So
it's a joke. It's a joke. I even think the 3 members of the Shield privately will be like, "Come on, we were good, but we weren't that good." They would never say that publicly, though.
Yeah, it's just to make I guess they're trying to just do some revisionist history. I feel like sometimes with some of these lists. I think. Yeah. But it's if they made a top 10 intercontinental champions of all time, something tells me they would put Miz in the top 5 for some reason.
I wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised.
But yeah. Anyway, DT, have a great night.
Yeah, you too. You too, my friend. Have a good night, and if I don't talk to you, have a good weekend. Enjoy it.
Well, my birthday is this Saturday. So.
Oh, happy birthday, man! All right.
I'll turn in the big 25.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, but have a good night, man.
All right, you too. Be well. Take care. Happy birthday.
Early birthday, but
take care. Later. Very cool. Cruiserweight's birthday. Awesome. And speaking of awesome, I think it's time we call it a night. This was awesome once again. Fun night Q&A, taking some calls. A pretty memorable trivia contest earlier. I think we will do that concept next week again. I'll make it a little easier. And I'll tell you the truth. As this was going along before, what I was thinking of doing is I'm going to make up multiple groups of 5. 5 from maybe ECW, 5 from TNA. 5 for nothing extremely difficult. I mean, I'm a little surprised this went as long as it did before. I thought Murphy's theme was going to be one of the easier ones because I let it play for so long. But I'll make them a little bit simpler. But I think we'll always keep it at 5 themes. I think 5 is fairly reasonable. I don't want anybody having to type essay 10 names. So, we'll keep them in groups of 5. And, we'll try it again next week. So, Sam, sorry he won't be here for the start of tomorrow's show. He'll be watching AEW. Yeah, stop by later on tonight. No problem. I'll be doing a watch-along tomorrow again. The lineup doesn't seem that strong. Look, they did, 564 last week? Yes, Memorial Day weekend. I expected it to be a low number. I didn't expect it to be that low. I think this week they rebound a little bit. I think they're in the low 7s this week. And for a Friday night, I don't think it's that bad. Low 7s. Probably 725 or something. If the show is really good, maybe I'll increase that. But so the plan tomorrow is I will be here at 10 o'clock instead of 10:05. As soon as SmackDown ends, I will be right here. I will do a live watch-along, and some of the matches that are kind of shangada will recap SmackDown as we go along. As soon as Dynamite ends at midnight, for the next 30 minutes, I will take calls. So if you want to call in tomorrow, calls will be open between midnight Eastern, and we'll do it till 12:30 in the morning. Hey, if we really have a big night, then maybe we'll go to 1. But I expect it to be at least a half an hour of calls. So, but 1.1 million, I think, would be a big stretch for a Friday night. I don't look, if it becomes their regular night, then I could see that possibly. Right now, look at what they have advertised. It doesn't look all that impressive, But it's gonna look. It's gonna be the first show after the pay-per-view. And, we'll see some new feuds brewing out of this. I think it'll be a fun show. I think it'll be pretty cool. And remember, we'll have more live fans, as we go along, more and more fans. And then next month, you got WWE back with fans. NWA announced a very small number of fans for the tapings, which is phenomenal. Now we need Impact Wrestling to follow. And if Impact Wrestling does not have live fans by August, then we got to start having a little concern about financially what's going on. But everyone, if you don't mind, before you go, smash that like button. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. I want to thank you for making these shows so enjoyable to do. I was joking with someone earlier today that I'm surprised I'm not burnt out right now. But as of right now, I'm going to be going on a little vacation the second week in July for about 5 days. So I get to recharge my batteries then. But, yeah, tomorrow, we'll take some more calls. And like I said, as we progress with this, I will tweak this phone system so we could have people on hold instead of just having to redial over and over again. And I am going to change the number, make it toll free. I don't know if international calls, if it would still be toll free. I would think that it would be, but I would think that even if you're international, you should be able to call a toll free number in the United States. I know here where I live, if I want to call overseas, I dial, I think, 0 and then the number, I think, something like that. Here in the United States, you dial 1 and the phone number. So, yeah, I think the toll-free number should be international. I mean, look, if it really becomes an issue, because I know a lot of you are tuning in from overseas, then I'll just make a second number. I'll make one for international and one for the States. The only question is, I got to see what a toll-free international number looks like. I don't think it'll be expensive in any way, but I'll check it out. I mean, linking an international number to like Google Hangouts, Google Voice, I think that's possible. So there's no reason why I can't. So, yeah, I mean, I'll look into everything. I mean, I want this to be as enjoyable as possible for all of you out there, and I want to have it so enough of you could call in, and I want it to be fun. So I will definitely look into that. I will get back to you, and, we'll go from there. So, everyone, thank you for a great night tonight. It was a blast, and I will check you all again tomorrow after SmackDown. And as I've been successfully doing the last couple of episodes, I close out once again with my favorite, what has turned out to be an outro. So much love, everyone. Have a great night. All the best. Take care.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. For me to live any other way was nuts. To me, those goody-good people who worked shitty jobs for bum paychecks and took the subway to work every day and worried about their bills were dead. I mean, they were suckers. They had no balls. If I wanted something, I just took it. I ran everything. I paid the bills. I paid the host. I even paid the masked maniac. Everybody had their hands out. Everything was for the taking. We always called each other good fellas. You would always hear from somebody. You're gonna like Don Tony. He's alright. He's a good fella. He's one of us. But if you're part of my crew, nobody ever tells you they're gonna get rid of you. It doesn't happen that way. There weren't any arguments or curses like in the movies. See, your haters come with smiles. They come as your friends, the people who've claimed they care the most for your life. And now that's all over. And that's the best part. Today everything is different. There's lots of action. I don't have to wait around for everything like everyone else. Oh, I didn't get the vaccine? Fuck you, vaccine me. Oh, your delivery guy has COVID? Fuck you, feed me. Right after I moved here, I ordered egg noodles and ketchup, and I got spaghetti with meat sauce. I'm no longer an average nobody, while they get to live the rest of their lives like a bunch of schnooks.
Night, everybody.